and killing 28-year-old Alex Habib, who was out driving for Uber. Habib was a father of two who leaves behind a 3-month-old and a 1-year-old. Canals, who does not have a criminal record, was reprimanded to the Macomb County Juvenile Justice Center. He's due back in court later this month. And a former Detroit pastor is heading to prison for sexually assaulting a 17-year-old boy. Reverend Kenneth Flowers was sentenced today to 4 to 15 years in prison. He pleaded no contest to sexually assaulting the teen in Farmington Hills back in December of 2023. Flowers had been a pastor at Greater New Mount Moriah Baptist Church in Detroit for nearly 30 years. Well, we're learning more about two women found dead inside a home in Warren on Wednesday. The two women were the 73-year-old homeowner and a 75-year-old woman from Fraser. Now, this morning, police say the evidence in the case is pointing towards the two women agreeing to a suicide pact. There was no signs of any forced entry or robbery, and police say there's no danger to the public. They are still investigating. Now, this happened on Joanne Smith Drive near 10 Mile and Mound. If you or anyone you know is struggling, it's okay to reach out for help. You can call or text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. It's available 24/7 free of charge. Well, the man accused of murdering an Oakland County woman nearly 9 years ago was back in court yesterday. Prosecutors say Floyd Galloway killed Danielle Stitzliski after she left her Southfield job back in 2016. Her body has never been found. Galloway's lawyer asking the judge to kick the Attorney General's office off the case and replace them. She claims they've mishandled the case and blamed them for evidence being suppressed. But prosecutors say it's not up to the judge to decide.
We believe that the Attorney General's handling of the privileged information that came into its possession further violated my client's rights and tainted the prosecutors who came into contact with that information from prosecuting this case.
I'm unaware of any case where a judge has said, AG's office, Oakland County's office, Wayne County, Macomb County, you guys are off, and I'm going to appoint a prosecutor, because there's nothing in the law that allows for that.
The judge says he'll be handling this issue and be ruling later on today. Galloway is expected to stand trial next year. Well, the Detroit Opera House is facing a financial crisis. The problem is so severe, they've already canceled the 2025 season opener, Pocahontas, the Girl of the Golden West. Now, tax documents obtained by the Detroit Free Press show plunging revenues and steep losses in both personal donations and government funding. The Opera House dance season and 3 remaining operatic productions remain unaffected at this time. Well, Fox 2 first told you about 2 teenagers sleeping outside in the freezing cold back in December. Now another video is going around raising questions about how they're being treated. Fox 2's Jessica Dubnak is working to get answers.
She didn't body him.
This is the new video reigniting a story hard to forget.
Shoes, blankets, toothbrush. This is the craziest thing I've seen.
That's me on the porch of a West Side Detroit home where brothers, now 12 and 16, were living outside in frigid December temps in 2024. The story sparked community outrage after learning the kids' parents live inside. Detroit Police Major Crimes and CPS launched an in-depth investigation.
They wanted to sleep out there. That's what they told neighbors. That's what they've told anybody who tried to help them.
The DPD investigation revealed parents struggling to handle the kids' serious, out-of-control behavioral issues, the oldest with an assault complaint against a family member.
They don't want them on the porch, but they are not going to fight and chance getting into a physical altercation with a 6'5", 220-pound 15-year-old.
Sources say the oldest brother's behavior is even worse, terrorizing their parents and teachers, and now posting this video.
She just hit me. Oh, that's another one. That's another one, Officer Harrison. That's on video. I love to see it.
We asked DPD about this video. They said in part the Detroit Police Department has thoroughly investigated the incident and found no injuries of child abuse. The mother was only detained to be transported to the precinct for questioning. All the allegations made from the children toward their parents have been unfounded. Historically, we have found that the 16-year-old has been the aggressor toward his parents and has reported the parents to be the aggressor.
Ain't that another one?
The theory is the kids are working together to get emancipated from their parents by using social media to discredit them.
Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
Well, times are a little rough at Macomb County Animal Control. It's in need of people to adopt pets and also people to work there. Staffing levels are low.
We have staffing issues where we're trying to figure out how do we hire 5 more additional officers for animal control. People can adopt one of these animals or they can foster them. I'm fostering one right now myself. It's a beautiful husky.
You can learn more about job openings at Macomb Animal Control on our website, fox2detroit.com. Well, Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan picking up a big endorsement today in his run for governor. The Detroit Regional Chamber's Political Action Committee is throwing their support behind Duggan's campaign. It's pretty early for them to pick a candidate. The announcement from the Detroit Chamber came months before the Southeast Michigan Business Organization traditionally reveals which candidate it's supporting. Duggan is running as an independent. Well, something new popping up along Detroit's freeways, remote-controlled lawnmowers. The city has been using and started to use the mowers to cut grass along those sloped freeway embankments. We got a look at them in action today along I-75. City officials say the remote mowers are much safer than previous methods when workers had to physically ride or push mowers along a hill. Plus, they're high-tech, which opens the job up to a whole new workforce.
The operators are more of technical, your techie, your IT type of operator. So your young adults, your people who maybe like to spend a lot of time on video games, you know, that's a big thing now, the esports. So just think about that when we're talking about, you know, the safety aspect, but we're also talking about another generation of Detroiters.
About 80 to 85% of the freeways in Detroit have sloped grass, so the remote control mowers should really come in handy. The grass is cut a minimum of 5 times a year. That's it?
That's it.
Wow, didn't know that. Well, still ahead, the latest from Texas and those devastating floods, what some are doing today to honor the dead. We'll tell you about that when Fox 2 Detroit Live continues. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live. You are looking live downtown Detroit. 75 degrees is the temperature. Well, nearly 2 weeks since the deadly floods in Texas killed 132 people, search and recovery efforts are still in full force along the Guadalupe River as they look for more than 100 missing people from the flood. Fox's Chelsea Torres is live in Kerrville, Texas, where these victims are being remembered today. And Chelsea, we can kind of see behind you, it looks like some sort of a mural or remembrance mural is right behind you. But tell us more about it.
Yes, absolutely, Bree. It's a beautiful tribute that the community here has really started to add to really honor a lot of the people, the loved ones that have been lost from the flood. And I'll show you a little bit more. You can see all of these flowers, just thousands of bouquets hanging on this fence. You'll see the Texas flag, some balloons. There's many pictures of a lot of the victims that are on here, as well as signs and just notes that people have written to kind of honor and tribute to a lot of the victims here. And when we talk about those search and recovery efforts, they're still looking for 100 people. And one of those bodies that was actually found earlier this week is 8-year-old Virginia Hollis. Her picture is over here on the end. And she was known as a cowgirl. She loved her horse. She was also known to have a pure and joyful soul. Well, Virginia's body was escorted to be back home with her family just yesterday in Belleville, Texas, to be laid to rest. And the Belleville Police Department say Virginia was one of the last campers found from Camp Mystic after the deadly floods washed away Virginia and her fellow campers on July 4th. The community gathered while her family and a horse walked behind the carriage on the way to the funeral home. One man who lives here says this tragedy will hurt the community for quite some time. He tells us what he saw on the morning of the floods.
We have a homeowners park that has access to the Guadalupe River. There were 4 upside down vehicles and a house, and they shouldn't be there. You know, it just really changed the landscape, and it's just horrendous exactly what happened. It's unbelievable.
And the mayor of Kerrville said on his Facebook page that he and other city partners are trying to figure out what alert systems did go out during the flood and how they can better improve those for the future. Bree.
And Chelsea, how far is this tribute right here behind you? How far is that from where all the flooding took place?
Actually, the Guadalupe River is probably, I would say it's hard to see through this fence. I'd say about 2 football fields from where I'm standing right now. So it's just right on the other side of some grassy area. That's where the Guadalupe River is. And we're in Kerrville. This is like the downtown area. So it's very easy to see a little bit further. There's a pavilion. You can see kind of the rushing waters of the river itself. So definitely not too far. And people have actually named this memorial the River of Angels.
Wow, that's super powerful. Chelsea, thank you so much. All right, let's get into the local weather here in the Metro Detroit area with Fox 2's meteorologist Stephanie Mead. She's with us today. Steph, how's it going?
Good. I'm hoping a lot of people are enjoying today a little bit better than yesterday. It was an oppressive day, and actually this time yesterday we had all of that rain and all that storm activity around. For us right now, though, just a lot of cloud cover. This is further north of us here up near the Mackinac Bridge. We're seeing just maybe an isolated break in the clouds here and there, but it is a very cloudy afternoon across a good portion of the state. But luckily, for the most part, we are mainly dry outside of maybe a few stray light sprinkles. It's like a light mist out there from time to time for very few select spots. I felt it this morning earlier in the morning hours, closer to 7 o'clock. And when I was leaving my shoot earlier in the afternoon too, I felt it out there as well. So it's there, it's around, but I don't think it's going to cause any issues if you want to be outside. 75 right now, though, in the city. 67 in Muskegon, 77 Fort Wayne, 70 degrees in Chicago. So right behind this cold front, you clearly notice that drop off in temperatures. Now, our humidity levels, they're not as bad as yesterday. It's still maybe slightly muggy here, but it's manageable. And our sky tracker, again, not picking up on much aside from maybe a stray, flurry, a stray lighter sprinkle or two throughout the afternoon. Again, nothing really of substance. Through the rest of the day today, mainly cloudy skies hold on. We see eventually cloud cover decrease as we head into tonight. And I think Friday is going to be fantastic. It's probably going to be the best day we see in the extended forecast just in terms of temps, humidity, and sky conditions. So we got all three going for us tomorrow afternoon. Temps today, come pretty close to the 80s. And then as we head through the day, come tonight and the evening hours, most of us will be in the low 60s, 60 degrees overnight, and that's actually almost refreshing compared to where we have been. Our muggy meter over the next couple of days too, luckily they're falling off as we speak, so they're going to continue to go down through the day today. Friday, we feel good, and then as we head through this upcoming weekend, when we factor in more shower and thunderstorm chances, that's when we start to see our humidity levels go up once again. Now, over the next 3 days or so, I would anticipate numbers in the 70s. It gets even better tomorrow. We see a lot of sunshine again, low humidity, lots of comfortable times. So if you want to be out and about after work tomorrow's going to be your day to make those patio plans. 78 degrees for a high on Friday, and then Saturday, scattered shower and thunder shower chances with highs in the lower 80s. And again, that's when we increase our humidity levels as well. So it's going to be a very brief, comfy stretch for us here. It's really only going to be one day. So our Fox Futurecast model during the afternoon shows those scattered shower and thunder shower chances. That's going to carry over until about 5, 6 o'clock. And then by early Sunday, most of that activity should be out of here. So I do think we salvage the later part of the day come Sunday with a partly to mostly sunny sky. Now, after late Saturday, early Sunday morning, during the work week, we have a lot going on in terms of storm chances, but also we're going to start to see heat and humidity build, possibly as we head through next week. Core of the hot air is going to be situated across the Corn Belt, actually. So across Arkansas, Missouri, southern Illinois, southern Indiana, Kentucky, and the parts of Tennessee. You can see where that core of very warm air, if not hot air, is going to be as we head through much of next week. And we could get a little bit of that spilling over as we head through at least Wednesday into Thursday. Now, in the extended forecast, a lot of us are going to be possibly in the 90s. This is actually the extended forecast from yesterday, so we'll give you that updated one. I'm in my PM show. But we do have heat on the way. So I guess we're just going to tease to the next hour in terms of that 7-day. I guess this is what you get when you work all different types of shifts. But
yes,
it is going to be toasty next week.
We're all over the place.
90s.
I feel like we should do a day in the life of Stephanie Meade. Or a day in the life of just on one of our on-air talents.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a constantly changing schedule like that. You know, I feel like it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough. You got a million different sleep schedules like Howard over here. He's working a double tonight.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
He's working a double tonight. But he likes it. He voluntarily does this. So he likes it.
Punishment.
Yeah. All right, Steph.
I'll see you next half hour with the right 7-day.
All right.
See you then.
Well, it should be decent weather today for the Ann Arbor Art Fair. It kicks off today and runs through Saturday night. The work of nearly 1,000 juried artists will be featured at the event spanning 30 city blocks of downtown Ann Arbor. There will also be live music, art demonstrations, and other family-friendly activities. National Trails will provide shuttle service from Briarwood Mall and Huron High School for $8 per person. All right, so coming up, it's the latest TikTok trend giving doctors chills, literally. It's called freeze branding, and doctors say, yes, it's as risky as it sounds. We'll hear all about it coming up. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit's Live. I'm your host, Bree Teamer, and you know who we got coming up. Ronya Shimona with the rundown today. Ronya, I just know you got some interesting stuff today.
Yeah, starting with this rapper, Troy Ave, and celebrity chef Jeff Cole. Looks like they have a lot of fans angry, and that's because both are accused of faking an armed robbery and shootout, all for Instagram clout. Now, here's the clip that was posted earlier this week. Jeff posting the dramatic video claiming a gunman had ambushed both of them outside their San Diego area home, with Troy pulling out a weapon, even firing shots in self-defense. The clip set the music playing in Jeff's car, quickly racked up about nearly 45,000 likes. And of course, you can imagine the comments as well, praising Troy as a hero. But come to find out, sources now directly connected to this duo confirm the entire scene is staged. Even officials in San Diego County also backing up these claims, stating that there were no reports of a shooting or attempted robbery involving the two men. And what's not entirely clear, their motivation for all of this. But there is speculation that
it was clout.
Maybe to promote music. There is that sound playing in the background of it seems like a song that they might be promoting. Now, Jeff has yet to respond. And in fact, at last check, this clip is still on the social media page. So there's still a lot of questions. Now, this begs the question, how far would people go, especially a celebrity, if this was just a promotion?
You know, this is actually really embarrassing that they got caught doing this. It's people will do anything for clout these days, and you faking a shootout in a driveway.
Yeah.
Like it didn't even look real. Yeah. Let's be honest.
And let's be honest. The fact that San Diego officials say we have no reports of anything like this. So
yeah.
That's
and
interesting.
then the guy in the front, the guy that was wearing the pants in the front, he was just standing there like,
I mean, it's
just like, are you going to run? Are you going to try and stop him? Yeah. Like, what you going to do?
It's a lot to digest. And I will say, I am waiting to see if there's a statement from either of them. And so far, nothing. So, of course, we'll be
Well, what do you say? What do you say after that?
We'll be watching. I don't know.
What would you say if you got caught faking a shootout?
You know, it's hard because I would never do it. So it's hard for me to say what I would say if I did it. So
come on,
it's hard. I know. I can't make up what I would
faking something.
I can't make up a statement.
Faking something. I mean, doing something for, I don't know, staging some sort of scenario.
I wouldn't do anything for the clout. Let's put it that way.
Ronya already has her own street cred.
All right, I'm going to move on now to the latest TikTok trend. You know I love these. Giving doctors chills, literally. Yeah, it's called freeze branding. And yes, it's as risky as it sounds. Now, here's video posted on TikTok of someone getting freeze branding done on their back. The technique involves the use of a liquid nitrogen that burns a design into their skin like cattle. Yeah, this is used on cattle. Dermatologists warn the stunt can actually cause deep burns, infections, even sepsis. Now, freeze branding is just one of the latest perilous practices, as you would call it, that tweens, teens, and 20-somethings have recently adopted. And if you recall, just earlier this week, if you remember, I told you about the Sharpie lip liner trend, which is also sending shockwaves through the medical community. Lots of things trending on TikTok. And this, again, begs the question, the risk, is it worth it? No, of course not. Doctors saying don't do this as well. Not everything you see on social media is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, the branding after it's healed and whatnot, we just saw the photo of that. It doesn't look like it's sticking around or anything like that. So I'm not sure if it'll be worth it.
It looks pretty painful.
It does look pretty painful.
And the fact of the risk of an infection or sepsis, that's not good.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now, Ronya, it looks like we have a little bit of breaking news. We want to get to this live event. Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist meeting about relieving some of the medical debt right here in Michigan. Let's take you there live.
Intentional and genuine relationships with all our families, because we want to make sure that we develop the whole child. As you are sitting here today, there are 400 children that are rumbling through rooms and in the hallways, engaged in high-quality workshops, and they just left literacy and math sessions this morning. Our mission is to develop urban communities through intergenerational leadership, educational enrichment, and civic engagement. I stand before you, once a young kid in Detroit, experiencing many things of the children that we serve today. As I welcome you to here, I want you to know that developing kids creates a safe haven to cultivate the next generation of leaders. On behalf of the Board of Directors, our team, volunteers, and the youth and families we serve, we welcome you to this place where your purpose connects with your passion, opportunities and exposure is very key, and the concern for everyone's mental, physical, and emotional well-being is at the core of why we do this work. We are providing best-in-class programs, and our energy is fueled by the youth who we serve. Enjoy your time with us today, and now I'd like to welcome to the podium Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist.
Kim, thank you so much for hosting us today. Thank you for being not just a program and solution provider for our communities, but really providing an institutional beacon, not just for this neighborhood or this section of Detroit, but really this is the kind of thing that everyone who's building an institution in this area should aspire to. Something that has a deep relationship and connection to the community, someplace that creates a space that's safe enough for children and adults to trust, and that positions them to be better than they are when they left here. Like when they come here, they're at one place, but when they leave here, they're even stronger, they're more confident, and they believe that more things are possible. So that's connected to what we're talking about here today, and I'm proud to be here with the governor, I'm proud to be here with County Executive Evans, proud to be here with Allison, because we're going to talk about something that is frankly a burden that holds too many people back, a burden that stands between people and being their best, and being their healthiest, and being their most successful. And that is medical debt. Medical debt that burdens hundreds of thousands of people in Michigan and millions of people across the country. Medical debt is deadly. Medical debt does not help anyone get healthier. Medical debt instead is something that more than 14 million people carry across this country. That is 6% of every adult. Now, 3 million of the people, including those who have health insurance, owe at least $10,000 in medical debt. Black folks are overrepresented in that. 13% of us report having medical debt compared to only 8% of white Americans. We estimate that there are at least 700,000 adults in Michigan who carry medical debt. That's more than the combined populations of Grand Rapids, plus Lansing, plus Ann Arbor. These aren't just numbers, though. These are people. These are our neighbors. These are our family members. And medical debt is not something you can see when you look at somebody, but it's something that weighs on them very heavily. Now, we've heard in our office stories of people who are burdened and struggling to overcome what medical debt has done to them. People like Patricia in Hazel Park, who had a procedure, but then was notified until after the fact that it was out of network. She got hit with a huge bill. Michael from Ann Arbor told us he got a cost estimate for a procedure that was less than half what he actually ended up being obligated to pay. And he still has never been explained why. And Thomas from Holden Lake said that his medical debts are the biggest expense that him and his wife carry, besides child care, which is also expensive. We're doing something about that too. What this all means is that medical debt is harming these people's potential. It makes it harder to get a job, harder to put food on the table, harder to afford the medicine you actually need, harder to make the choices that you need to make. And this debt happens to someone through no fault of their own. None of these people made a mistake. None of these people did anything wrong. None of these people took anything from anyone. But this medical debt was forced upon them. And that's why it's so important that we find pathways to forgive people of this burden. Today we're excited to make progress. But the problem is not going away. Right now, hundreds of thousands of Michiganders are in danger of falling into medical debt for the first time, or even deeper medical debt than they have right now, because of what has happened from President Trump and Republicans in Congress. The cutting of Medicaid that will put 5.4 more million people across the country into medical debt. Every Republican member of our congressional delegation voted to gut Medicaid and SNAP and do this to Michiganders. It's $700 billion cut from Medicaid. 500,000 people who could lose their health care. 30% of Michiganders get their insurance from Medicaid. Now, we're not finished. There's work that we must continue. And Governor Whitmer and I and all of our allies will continue to fight every single day to protect and expand access to quality health care, to prevent people from getting into medical debt in the first place. Now, we just believe that getting sick, getting hurt, needing help, that should not burden you with debt for the rest of your life. It shouldn't be a hindrance on your potential. The reason to get healthy is so you can do more. All of us have access, should have a right to the access to that dream of health and wealth. And now taking this step to remove this burden of medical debt from so many people will help us get there and get there faster for more people and more communities. So I thank all of you. I thank this entire team. I thank the whole coalition. I thank the legislators. I thank the folks who have demonstrated what this looks like in parts of our state. Thank you for laying the foundation. We have more work to do, and it's work that we can do together. So with that, I want to introduce Allison Sesso, the head of Undo Medical Debt.
Thank you so much. I am so grateful to be here. I want to thank the Lieutenant Governor for those amazing remarks and putting the truth about medical debt and how it impacts so many people and what we're facing on a national level because of those cuts and putting it in that context. And of course, thanking the Governor for her leadership. We've also been partnering with Wayne County. We've also been working with Oakland and Kalamazoo, and together we've been able to eliminate $182.6 million of medical debt here in Michigan. So I'm happy to say that there'll be 271,000 people that are going to benefit, and we're just getting started. Those individuals will be getting letters from us, signed together collaboratively. And I want to make sure people believe those letters, which is why it's so important that we're here today and we have so much press here telling this story and making sure that people know that this is no scam. Indeed, it is real. One of the things that we say in that letter is we ask people to tell their stories of medical debt, because as we've heard here, it is no fault of the person as individual. They didn't do anything wrong. Something happened. They got sick. We're all vulnerable to getting sick. We're all going to get sick one day. The number one predictor of whether or not you end up in medical debt is whether or not you get sick. It is not related to your insurance status or anything else. That is a sad reality. And the truth is, the situation that was already bad is only going to get worse. Those Medicaid cuts are going to make it not only hurting the individuals that are going to end up being uninsured largely, but also it's going to increase the price of medical care for everybody else, because we need people to be in the pool in order for it to be cheaper across the board. And so just because you don't have Medicaid doesn't mean that action is not going to hurt you. And I want to make sure everybody is clear about that and clear-eyed and understands what this means. On top of that, there was supposed to be a law that was going to be implemented at the end of this month that would ensure that medical debt would not end up on people's credit. That law is now not going to be put into place. And so not only is there going to be more medical debt, but it's going to be worse for people. The impacts are going to be worse. But I'm happy that there's leaders like Senator Anthony that are not only doing this work with us and being champions, but also to get rid of the medical debt, but also looking at other legislative solutions that can help reduce the impact of medical debt, and that the conversation is really happening. I do want to tell you just a little bit about our work and who we are. So we're a national nonprofit that eliminates medical debt across the country. We've been able to get rid of $20 billion of medical debt, believe it or not, in our short existence. But there's at least $220 billion of medical debt out there, and this is not a final solution to the problem of medical debt, but it certainly is a good solution for the people that are impacted today, and I'm really happy to bring that here. People wonder, how are we able to do this work? We get rid of medical debt for pennies on the dollar. We are mimicking a for-profit debt buyer, except when we get rid of that debt, we don't follow up and say, pay us something back, we'll come into a payment plan. We say, your debt is free and clear and you no longer owe it. And so that's how our model works. People say, is this magic? No, it's just math. There is a reality that medical debt can be bought for pennies on the dollar. $1 relieves $100 of medical debt on average, and that's what we're bringing here. So it's a great return on investment, a really solid investment by the state, by the counties, and by lots of donors across the United States. So I am thrilled to be here. I want to thank all of the providers that have worked with us. We don't do this by ourselves. We need the hospitals to work with us, and many have. Across the country, we've worked with almost 400 hospitals, and we've worked with some here, and we're continuing to knock on those doors and get other hospitals to work with us as well. They understand also that this issue is preventing people from going to get the care that they need. They realize that while they have many robust features in place to prevent medical debt, financial assistance policies, charity care policies, that more needs to be done, and people still get caught up in it because the system is broken for hospitals as well. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. I am thrilled to have the governor come up and talk next. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Allison. Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to be here with all of you today as we erase $144 million of medical debt for nearly 210,000 Michiganders. I want to start off by thanking our partners in Wayne County, Oakland County, Kalamazoo counties. Together, we've worked with undue medical debt to make sure that Michiganders are not drowning in their unpaid medical bills. I also want to thank all of the advocates and legislators who have been fighting to relieve Michiganders of their medical debt. I especially want to thank Senator Sarah Anthony, my senator in Lansing, for her leadership in the legislature on this issue. Your commitment and dedication to Michiganders has really paved the way so that more people can get ahead. Today's announcement was made possible because of Senator Anthony's hard work and so many folks in the legislature and stakeholders, and so thank you. I want to also thank Developing Kids for hosting us as we make this exciting announcement. Today's announcement, I think, is something that is going to give so many Michiganders relief. Across the United States, medical debt is the #1 cause of bankruptcy. It affects more than 100 million Americans. There's 330 million of us. 100 million have medical debt. Across the United States, this is a pain point for so many, keeping them from getting ahead. It includes nearly 700,000 Michiganders who have to choose every day between paying off medical bills or simply putting food on the table and paying their utility bills. But here in Michigan, we believe that being sick or getting hurt shouldn't have to mean going broke. And that's why I'm really proud that the work of our administration has done to address medical debt and to support the financial and physical health of people across our state. You know, a few years ago, we secured $4.5 million in our balanced bipartisan state budget to relieve medical debt for hundreds of thousands of people. And earlier this year, in my State of the State address, I asked Republicans and Democrats to work together on bipartisan legislation to further reduce medical debt. Today's announcement supports our work, which is just getting started. So thanks to Undo Medical Debt, that's what we shortened it to. I don't know if everyone calls you Undo, but thank you. More Michigan families can now go to sleep without a pit in their stomachs and more money in their wallets. I want to share a story about Tammy Lake. Tammy is a mother and grandmother. She lives here in Michigan, and she's been living with diabetes, kidney failure, and arthritis. The cost of treatments for these diseases have left Tammy with so much medical debt, she wouldn't even be able to pay it off in one lifetime. That's where Undo has come in. They purchased Tammy's medical debt so she can focus on the things she loves, like spending time with her kids and grandkids. And that's really what this is all about. So we can't stop here. This is a great announcement, but it is one of many steps we need to take. We need to keep this momentum and support Michiganders like Tammy, especially considering everything going on at the national level. I'm committed to working with our partners in the legislature to relieve Michiganders of medical debt that has been weighing them down. So I want to give thanks again to Undo Medical Debt and all the advocates and legislators who are committed to getting the job done for Michiganders all across our state. I now have the pleasure of introducing one of our partners in this fight, Wayne County Executive Warren Evans.
Thank you, Governor. All of us that are in public service tend to smile at things like this because this is really what we get into public service for. And the teamwork here has been wonderful. In Wayne County, we've reduced medical debt by $42 million, and we've gotten rid of the debt for 71,000 people in Wayne County. And it's amazing the tributes that you get from those people and understand the pinch that they've been in. One thing I'd like to mention, you don't, apply for the program, but you'll get a letter, and I think Undo Medical Debt talked about that once it's been relieved. Understand so many people are transient that you don't get the letter. So there needs to be some looking back at your previous address and check. It doesn't mean that we haven't retired the debt. It means you just haven't gotten the notice. But that's very, very important, I think, for people to understand. And the other thing is people are stressed by the medical debt. I mean, it's something that people carry with them, not just medical debt, but debt period. But certainly medical debt is one of those issues. And so the more we can do to reduce that stress, the better job we're doing. And the other thing is there are people who refuse to go get medical treatment when they need it because they're concerned about the debt. And there's nothing that we want to see eradicated more than people refusing to get medical treatment when they need it. And so I think this effort is a great one. I think it will grow. The numbers are significant now. And Wayne County still has money left. So the numbers I gave you are not our end numbers. The state's numbers are certainly not the end numbers. But I think all of us feel good about what it is that we're trying to do here. And when you work together as a team, you do get an awful lot more done. And speaking of teams, I want to introduce Senator Sarah Anthony, who has been a leader in the legislature on this issue and a bunch of other substantive issues. But every time we see each other, we smile about this one because this one is a winner. Thank you very much. And Sarah?
Good afternoon. I'm so excited. This is such a good day. It's such a good day. I have formal remarks. I will keep them to that. Thank you, Governor. Thank you to everyone to be here just to celebrate this exciting step forward in combating medical debt. Our state is strong when our people are strong, when our communities are healthy and they're thriving. That's why in the very first month that finally Democrats had the gavel in the House and the Senate alongside our governor, we made a list. We made a list of the things that would transform the lives of people. And all roads lead through the budget. I always say that budgets are moral documents. You can tell me that you care about kids, show me the money. You can tell me that you care about roads, we need to show you the money, right? Okay, so there's so many things that you can say that you care about, but ultimately what you invest your money in shows us that it's real. And lowering costs for Michiganders has been near and dear to my heart and the hearts of so many in the state capitol. And we've accomplished a lot in the last 3 years, from universal school meals to protecting money for affordable housing. But while I'm incredibly proud of these investments, they don't mean much if people can't afford or access quality health care. And an unplanned, unexpected illness or accident is already stressful enough without having to worry about how to cover the cost. No one should have to choose between paying their rent and getting a surgery. Our Michigan residents deserve relief. So the $4.5 million that we were able to secure in the state budget has already paid dividends, in which you've already heard today. And we are just getting started. So in partnership with our governor, our lieutenant governor, and legislators on both sides of the aisle, we have started to work to continue to fix this broken system that too often puts profits over people. This year, we are proposing an additional $5 million in the state budget for medical debt forgiveness, extending relief to additional residents. We're also looking at this from a policy perspective. And I know oftentimes when you read the headlines or look at the news, you see so much division in government. But I'm pleased to report that the bills that we are already moving throughout the legislative process have bipartisan support. Because regardless if you live in a conservative community or a liberal community, medical debt affects everyone. And so I've been excited to partner with legislators both in the House as well as the Senate, and again, on both sides of the aisle, to address medical debt, not only through the budget process, but also through the legislative process. So we are working with folks like Denise Menser or Senator Lindsay to introduce bills to prohibit medical debt from counting on your credit report. Because no one should be forced into a cycle of debt and poverty simply for essentially getting health care. Together, we can create a future where communities are no longer weighed down by burdens of medical debt. We can build a system where health care is a right, not a privilege, and where everyone can access care that they need regardless of their financial standing. So let us stand united in this mission, because when we lift each other up and fight for our values, we create a stronger, healthier, and a more prosperous Michigan for everyone. So thank you all again for coming.
All right, well, you were just watching a live update from our Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist, along some other folks as well, some other officials. Our Amy Lang is working on this story, so if you joined us a little bit late, didn't quite get to watch the entire thing, don't worry, Amy Lang has got you covered in our later hours of news. We're going to take a quick break, regroup a little bit, and when we come back, we'll have a live weather update for you. Stick with us. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit's Live. You're looking live downtown Detroit, where it is 75 degrees, a nice mild day out there today. Let's see if we're going to get any rain, though, because we definitely got a little bit yesterday.
Yeah,
Just a little tiny bit.
Yeah, there was quite a few spots. I was driving in yesterday around like the 2-3 o'clock hour along 9 Mile, and it was just rain was
Insane.
everywhere, and there was some ponding water and flooding.
Some thunder coming down, some lightning bolts in the sky.
Yeah, it was
lot
active.
happening.
And the thing is that is my microphone something going on with my
You're not wearing it.
I'm not wearing my microphone.
She's not wearing your
Oh my
microphone.
gosh.
So we didn't hear about your journey
Oh my
in on
goodness.
9 Mile, but
We'll
that's
talk
okay.
about it again.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Don't worry,
kidding.
we got all day.
No, but I was driving in yesterday, right when kind of that deluge of rain was coming. 9 Mile, and there's construction everywhere. Surprise, surprise. And 9 Mile was having construction, but there was also some ponding and just some high standing water. So of course, when you're driving past it, you're going to just get completely drenched in that water. Not me personally, but your cars.
Yeah, your car.
So luckily, we don't have to deal with that. I know you're like, okay, Steph, start talking about the weather now. Okay, so anyway,
well, we got 4 minutes. So.
Okay, wonderful. So we don't have any rain around, at least like that right now. We have some lighter sprinkles at the moment. Temps are in the low 70s. Pontiac at 71, 76 for those in the city of Detroit. And you notice we do have a lot of cloud cover around, and I think cloud cover is going to be very much prevalent through the day today. There isn't going to be a whole lot of sunshine. When we do see some clearing, that's going to happen tonight. Our dew point readings low 60s, so we are starting to see those numbers go down, which is great. This time yesterday, they were in the lower 70s. So hopefully you're able to feel that difference just in terms of the heaviness of the air, the thickness of the air, because it is feeling a lot better. Right now, Sky Tracker showing most of the rain well east of us. We don't have a whole lot going on radar, which is great. Our daytime highs today will come close to 80 degrees, but I do think a lot of locations are going to fall just short of 80, which is actually kind of nice because over the past month and a half, we've been seeing temperatures well into the 80s, so we really haven't had a whole lot of a break from those 80-degree days. Highs will hit between about 3 and 7 o'clock, and then lows tonight actually will feel kind of refreshing. We'll be in the low 60s with decreasing clouds as we head through the overnight hours. It's going to be cooler. It should feel a lot nicer, so maybe you can actually enjoy some time outdoors on the patio tonight, enjoying the cooler weather. That's going to continue tomorrow. Our daytime highs are going to feel similar to today, but I do think our humidity levels are only going to continue to improve. So they're going to continue to fall overnight and through the day tomorrow. And we also see more sunshine. So it's going to actually look and feel nice too, just in terms of our sky conditions. So if you happen to have Friday night off, it is going to be a fantastic evening to be out on the patio for dinner, kind of just around town, around some of the surrounding areas for downtown Detroit. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of activities going on just because it is summer, and it's actually going to feel nice paired up with that. Our dew point readings over the next couple of days, low tonight, low tomorrow. They start off low Saturday, and then they'll start to increase as we see our shower chances return, and then they'll fall back off late Sunday into Monday of next week. And then next week, we could be talking additional heat. So our precip chances moving forward, Saturday, early Sunday, some scattered shower and thunder shower chances. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, potentially into Thursday as well. We're looking at additional rain. So here's our Fox Futurecast model. This is by tomorrow, between the afternoon hours, so between noon and about 7 o'clock, that's when we see that rain chance. And then after that, our rain will be around from time to time late Saturday into Sunday morning, but I do think it's going to become very much isolated. So we do see drier hours as we head through Sunday. Our next potential heat, at least not wave, but heat returning should be next week. The good bulk of the warmest air is going to be across parts of Arkansas, Missouri, southern Illinois, southern Indiana. So that general location, the Ohio Valley, but we could get in on some of that heat just in terms of lower 90s. They're possibly talking those states that I mentioned before, triple digit heat. So luckily we're not quite as hot, but we're going to be forecasting a little bit more heat off on the horizon for us here. Lower 80s to end the weekend, possibly starting next week. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, that's when we start to see those numbers go up a little bit with storm chances returning as well.
All right, great. Thank you, Steph.
Yeah.
It took us all the way to the end.
We did. All right, see you later.
See ya. Well, there is still so much to come right here on Fox 2 Detroit's Live. We'll be here until 5 o'clock to bring you everything you need to know, from top stories, live events, latest news, you name it. You'll get it right here on Fox 2 Detroit Live. Now, stick around because we have another hour of Fox 2 Detroit Live coming up in about 2.5 minutes, hosted by Ronya Shimona. She's going to kick off our 2 o'clock hour, and I'll see you back here at 3.
Thanks for joining us on this Thursday, July 17th. I'm your host, Ronya Shimona, and you're watching Fox 2 Detroit live at 2.
Live from the Fox 2 Newsroom, this is Fox 2 Detroit.
Our top story this afternoon, a Detroit teen accused of hitting and killing a father of two, all during a police chase in Macomb County, now charged as an adult. 16-year-old Daniel Canales was arraigned this morning on several charges, including second-degree murder and fleeing police, among other offenses. That crash happened early Saturday morning. Police say Canales led officers on a chase in a stolen car, then ran a red light near 11 Mile and Van Dyke and Warren, hitting and killing 28-year-old Alex Habib, who was out driving for Uber. Habib was a father of two who leaves behind a 3-month-old and a 1-year-old. Canales, who does not have a criminal record, was remaining at the Macomb County Juvenile Justice Center. He's due back in court later this month. Also out of Macomb County, a man is going to stand trial for allegedly murdering another man at a Sterling Heights hotel. Luke Safaja is accused of shooting a 24-year-old man in the parking lot of the Extended Stay America on Van Dyke near 14 Mile. It's all happening back in February. Prosecutors say the two knew each other. Now, following the shooting, investigators say he went back to his house in Centerline, leading to an hours-long standoff with police. He also reportedly assaulted an officer during his arrest. Safaja is facing several charges in the case, including premeditated murder, and is due back in court next month. A former Detroit pastor is headed to prison for sexually assaulting a 17-year-old boy. Reverend Kenneth Flowers was sentenced today to 4 to 14 years in prison. He pleaded no contest to sexually assaulting the teen in Farmington Hills back in December of 2023. Flowers had been a pastor at Greater New Mount Moriah Baptist Church in Detroit for nearly 30 years. We're learning more about two women found dead inside a home in Warren on Wednesday. The two women were the 73-year-old homeowner and a 75-year-old woman from Fraser. This morning, police say the evidence in the case is pointing towards the two women agreeing to a suicide pact. There were no signs of any forced entry or a robbery, and police say there's no danger to the public. Now, they still are investigating this case, and this all happening on Joanne Smith Drive near 10 Mile and Mound. Now, if you or anyone you know is struggling, it's okay to reach out for help. You can call or text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. That number is 988, and it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, free of charge. Fox 2 first told you about two teenagers sleeping outside in the freezing cold back in December. Now another video is going around raising questions about how they're being treated. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack is working to get answers.
She's inviting him.
This is the new video reigniting a story hard to forget.
Shoes, blankets, toothbrush. This is the craziest thing I've seen.
That's me on the porch of a West Side Detroit home where brothers, now 12 and 16, were living outside in frigid December temps in 2024. The story sparked community outrage after learning the kids' parents live inside. Detroit Police Major Crimes and CPS launched an in-depth investigation.
They wanted to sleep out there. That's what they told neighbors. That's what they've told anybody who tried to help them.
The DPD investigation revealed parents struggling to handle the kids' serious, out-of-control behavioral issues, the oldest with an assault complaint against a family member.
They don't want them on the porch, but they are not going to fight and chance getting into a physical altercation with a 6'5", 220-pound 15-year-old.
Sources say the oldest brother's behavior is even worse, terrorizing their parents and teachers, and now posting this video.
She just kicked me. Oh, that's another one. That's another one, Officer Harrison. That's on video. I love to see it.
We asked DPD about this video. They said in part the Detroit Police Department has thoroughly investigated the incident and found no injuries of child abuse. The mother was only detained to be transported to the precinct for questioning. All the allegations made from the children toward their parents have been unfounded. Historically, we have found that the 16-year-old has been the aggressor toward his parents and has reported the parents to be the aggressor.
Ain't that another one?
The theory is the kids are working together to get emancipated from their parents by using social media to discredit them.
Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan picking up a big endorsement today in his run for governor. The Detroit Regional Chamber's Political Action Committee is throwing their support behind Duggan's campaign. It's pretty early for them to pick a candidate. The announcement from the Detroit Chamber came months before the Southeast Michigan Business Organization traditionally reveals which gubernatorial candidate is supporting. Duggan is running as an independent. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel says she's not ruling out a run for senator or governor, which already have other candidates lining up. Now, while the Attorney General isn't ruling out a run for either of them, she's still keeping quiet about what's next.
I really think right now, there's no more important job than I can have than the one that I'm doing right now. A fair statement is that I've made no determinations about what my future is at this point.
There are currently 3 Democrats running for governor and 3 others seeking the U.S. Senate seat. The Country Roads Music Festival was supposed to be a music lover's dream with 3 days of live tunes and a focus on Michigan talent. It was set to kick off this weekend, but was suddenly postponed. Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly explains what happened.
Country pop singer-songwriter Michaela Prue loves to sing.
Turning 20 soon, I don't know what to do. I swear I've been singing out of the womb ever since I was 4 years old. I've been in musicals.
And over the years, Michaela has also performed in a number of festivals. So when she was invited to perform at the first ever Country Roads Music Festival in Brooklyn, she was over the moon.
I was super excited to be a part of the opportunity in this brand new festival.
But days before Michaela was set to take the stage on Sunday, July 20th, the event organizer posted this announcement on Facebook, postponing the event.
Festivals are obviously a major way that growing artists like me get their name out there, and it is also one of the main ways where myself and my band, we generate income.
She wasn't alone in her disappointment. Scott Kendall's band was set to perform Saturday.
I was a little let down. I was really looking forward to it.
The founder of Country Roads Fest is speaking out on the postponement.
After we got everything done and got tickets on sale, we probably only had, April, May, June, really only about 3.5 months. And I think in hindsight, Monday morning quarterbacking here, it probably wasn't sufficient time to be able to, promote the festival.
This was Darcy Key's first major fest, and she believes a lack of promotion led to low ticket sales.
I don't think that we ever got to kind of that critical minimum ticket sales level.
Keys felt competition from other events played a role in low ticket sales, but she vows to be back next year.
Our intention is definitely to do it next year.
And we caught up with one producer who does a lot of events across Metro Detroit, including Arts, Beats, and Eats. And he has this advice for Country Roads.
Definitely think there's a road back. We're finding some sponsorship, getting finance not just from the people that are buying tickets, but having some support there can also give you some initial funding to go after an act that is going to catch people's attention.
Ticket holders will get a full refund, and Keys apologizes for the letdown.
Nobody wanted to have this more than I did. I'm heartbroken.
In Southfield, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
Fox 2 Detroit is just getting started. After the break, Macomb County trying to fetch some help at animal control. The message they want all animal lovers to hear. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live at 2. What a beautiful day it has turned out. I mean, you can see the clouds, the sun, but the weather, the temperature is just perfect. I can go for a lot more these days. All right. The largest known piece of Mars on Earth has just sold for more than $5 million. And it went to an anonymous bidder, so we're never going to know who got this, at least for now. The space rock weighs 54 pounds and was found in the Sahara Desert in 2023. Sotheby's auction in New York says it's one of 400 Martian meteorites ever found here on Earth. The sale went over its estimates of $2.4 million, making it the most valuable meteorite ever sold at an auction.
Tell the truth, Rona. You bought that, didn't you?
You know, I would love to be purchasing a meteorite. I don't know. What do you do with it? I mean, are you just putting it in, we don't know if it's going in a museum. We don't know where it's going. But I'll say pretty stellar stuff, right, Steph?
Yeah, I think people have some very interesting interests. And
$5 million.
Yeah, that's incredible. Hopefully it does end up in a museum, though.
Yeah.
I think we ran a story yesterday evening, too, that there was some bones that were found from some type of dinosaur as well that someone bought. And I was just like, man, to have that in a house, I would hope that they put it in a museum just so people can just see.
Hopefully it's encased in something to keep it safe. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure. If they have $5 million+ to spend on a meteorite, they're encasing that in a very safe place, hopefully.
Very true.
Like you're putting it out in the garden.
Right. Here's our meteorites.
Yeah.
But
no meteorites in the forecast, I hope.
Yeah, no. If it does, then we got a problem. But we have seen gradual clearing. Right now, this is a live look a little further north of us. It's up near the Mackinac Bridge, and we're seeing a little bit more blue sky compared to our picture closer to home here across southeast Michigan. But we will eventually start to see more clearing as the day goes on, which is nice. And we have a spread of temperatures from the lower 60s out near northwestern parts of the state. Man, it's only in the low 60s up near Mackinac City, up near Mackinac Island. We're in the mid 70s here in the city of Detroit at 76 degrees. So we are gradually seeing those temperatures cool, but we'll also start to see our dew point readings fall as well. So it feels actually really nice up near the UP, northern Wisconsin, up near northern Michigan as well, where dew points are in the 40s and 50s. We're still hanging out in the 60s, so honestly, it's not awful. Could be better, but it also could be worse. It could feel like yesterday, where dew points were in the 70s, like they're seeing out near Ohio and the Carolinas. So we are not as humid, but we are starting to see those numbers gradually go down as well. Nothing really active on radar, which is great. There are maybe a few light sprinkles, but a lot of that stuff is not going to necessarily get picked up on radar. 79 today for our forecasted high. And as we get through the next couple of hours, we'll see our daytime high hit between like 4 and 7 o'clock later on this evening. Otherwise, tonight looks refreshing. Anticipate seeing lows bottom out low 60s. There could be a few spots maybe sneaking into the upper 50s. So not bad. I don't think it's give your AC a break type of overnight just because it'll be super brief. It'll only be one day, but maybe go outside, enjoy the refreshing air. Humidity levels will be low at that time as well due to that northerly breeze. It's also breezy out there right now for sure. Today, highs nearing the upper 70s, and then tomorrow we'll be well into the upper 70s. Overall, a nice day, lots of sunshine, and then low 80s return alongside rain chances, and of course, humidity for this upcoming weekend. You notice we're kind of all over the place. That muggy meter shows bearable conditions today, tomorrow. Humid this weekend, a little better to start the work week, and then heading through the middle part of next week when we start to see our humidity levels rise once again. Alongside with that, we see our rain chances increasing as well, so it's starting to become a bit more active as we head into next week. So this is what we're looking at this upcoming weekend. So Saturday between 1 to 7 o'clock, we'll see those shower and thunder shower chances. They become a bit more few and far between late Saturday evening. Sunday, last of the rain moves out during the morning hours, and then we should see a pretty good day after that. After the rain chances this upcoming weekend comes some more heat, but it is summer again, so keep that in mind. The core of the hottest air, though, luckily just south of us, so into Oklahoma, Nebraska, Arkansas, even Iowa, southern Illinois, Missouri. So those are the spots that are really going to be picking up on this very oppressive heat and humidity. For us, it's going to be hot and humid, but we're not talking triple-digit heat and humidity numbers. We're just talking possibly upper 80s, lower 90s, few spots, maybe scooting into the middle 90s, but I do think most of us will be low 90s as we head into next week. And we're also factoring in some storm chances as well, because we're kind of on the outer edge of this area of high pressure, this dome of heat. So it's going to be active for us here as we have that pattern set up middle of the week next week.
All right, Steph, thank you for that. Meanwhile, times are a little rough right now at the Macomb County Animal Control. It's in need of people to adopt pets and also people to work there. Staffing levels are pretty low. There's a need for 5 more officers. Outside of the building, workers also serve Roseville and St. Clair Shores.
Like many law enforcement agencies, we have staffing issues where we're trying to figure out how do we hire 5 more additional officers for animal control. People can adopt one of these animals or they can foster them. I'm fostering one right now myself. It's a beautiful husky.
Aw, you can learn more about job openings at Macomb Animal Control on our website. Just head to fox2detroit.com. All right, we have a lot to break down here. Is Metro Detroit a buyer's market or a seller's market? And should you jump in or wait it out? Well, we've got answers when real estate pro Michael Perna joins us live next. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live at 2. We're talking prices, interest rates, and of course, competition. A lot to keep up with in today's housing market, especially in Detroit. So what does it all mean for buyers and sellers all around our city? We've brought in real estate expert Michael Perna to help us decode the market and of course, share some smart tips for those that are trying to make their next big move. Michael, good to have you back.
Great to be back. And thank you again, Rennie, for having me. I really appreciate it and love being here.
Of course. You're one of my most trusted sources. Now, let's talk about the current state of Metro Detroit's housing. What's going on?
So last couple of times I've been here, I've been talking about the hot market and everything is moving right away and everything's going multiple offer. And we're finally starting to see a little bit of a pullback from that. So for the first time since 2021, actually 2020, there are more homes on the market than there are buyers in the market on a national level. Here in Metro Detroit, we're just starting to see that inventory and the number of homes in the market really creep up. And here's how it's affecting the market. So some of the luxury markets out there, Macomb County above 700,000, Oakland County above 900,000, Wayne County above 700,000. We're starting to see some real slowdowns as far as the offers go. Now, it's still a relatively fast moving market in that, let's say 250 to 600,000, but for buyers, they're not having to give up every single contingency and concession like they were just a few months ago. So we're talking about like appraisal waivers and waiving inspections and giving free occupancy. We're not seeing that happen as much anymore. We're also not seeing as many offers per home as we were seeing as the number of homes on the market is going up. The number of buyers is still very strong, but there are just more homes for sale.
Does that mean the bidding wars have slowly come to a decline?
They've definitely receded. They're still happening in some areas, in some markets, like Royal Oak, for example, or Ferndale, or Livonia. The well-priced markets, the more affordable markets, we're still seeing a lot of multiple offers, but some of the more luxury-style markets, we're definitely seeing that pull back.
Where would you say is the hottest area right now that you see booming?
Oh gosh, Corktown, Midtown, University District in Detroit has actually really come alive, which is very cool. Royal Oak, Farmington Hills, Livonia, Plymouth. Some of those areas are still almost depleted as far as homes on market goes.
Incredible. You know, there was a time when we saw a lot of out-of-state investors and even out of the country trying to get their hands on the Metro Detroit market. Are we still seeing that?
Yes, we are. And we're working with several ourselves that have just called in to work with us in the past few months. We're seeing a lot of out-of-state people because a lot of other markets are just way less affordable than Detroit. And you can't buy a home and make the rents work in areas like Chicagoland, for example.
And I have to ask you, too, as far as cash buyers, because we saw a lot of cash buyers. Has that
That is actually, yeah, that's starting to subside just a little bit. So if you're a first-time buyer especially, and you're 5% down, 3.5% down, 10% down, I think now is your time to shine. You're not going to get outbid by the heavy downstrokes of 25 to 40% or even full cash offers like we were in February, March, and April. And if you're a seller, my advice would be there are 3 pricing strategies that you can go to market with. The first one is go above and negotiate down a little bit. I do not recommend that right now. Homes that are doing that are just sitting. There's the one where you go under the market, get a whole ton of offers and push the price up. I'm starting to see that backfire on some sellers now when they only get the one offer and they were expecting 6 or 7. The best strategy is go straight at the market and then hold the line on the price.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense because I have seen a few homes, even in my area, where they've had to bring the prices down, even about 5 to 10,000. And while that doesn't seem like a lot, it's definitely enough to make people kind of get that thought, like, why are they bringing the price down? Why isn't it selling?
And that's the truth. And it's not that that it's necessarily a bad home or there's damage. It's just our market has slowed a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We're at the lowest number of multiple offers since 2019, and I think we're going to remain that way for the rest of the year.
And now you did post a little video that I wanted to share with our viewers of the luxurious markets here in Detroit, because a lot of times we're focusing on affordability and, of course, hot markets, hot areas, but there's areas where it's even difficult to get in, and there's $1 million properties, even more than million, that are being sold. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so the day on market for $1 million properties is still low for the ones that are selling and the ones that are pricing properly. And you're going to see this in the video. We're seeing days like 50 days on market, 34 days on market. But the untold story that I didn't put in this video is if you look at the time on market for the homes that are actively on market, a lot of those are 90, 120, even 150 days. Sellers that are up there at a price that, hey, it's a nice to have, but maybe they don't need to move, so they're not bringing the price down. The sellers that are serious and going to market in the luxury community, they are selling and selling quickly.
That's incredible. And what would you say is one of the most, I don't want to say expensive areas, but the area that's attracting these luxurious properties that are being sold for $1 million plus?
Yep, Birmingham, Bloomfield, all 5 points in the Grosse Pointes area, Ann Arbor, Novi, and Northville.
Northville.
Oh, and downtown Rochester too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're all bustling areas, it seems like. So, you know, Michael, one thing before we go, interest rates. What are your thoughts?
Interest rates, I believe, unless unemployment ticks up to 4.5%, which it may, I think we're going to see interest rates hold steady right through May of next year, because that's also when Jerome Powell's appointment is up. Unless he steps down early, which he may do, there's been rumblings about this, we're going to see interest rates stay steady for the next year to 18 months.
That's great information. Of course, we'll post all this on our website at fox2detroit.com. Michael, it's always good to have you on. And of course, if you need any real estate advice or just simply a question or two that you need answered, the Perna team's always here to help. thepernateam.com is how you can reach out. Thanks again for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that's all for Fox 2 Detroit Live at 2. Of course, Jay Towers is up next, and we're going to be here all afternoon, so don't go anywhere.
Towers in the morning, 100.3 WNIC.
First of all, yesterday I did watch The Balloon Boy.
Yeah.
Falcon. His name was Falcon.
On Netflix. Oh, that's right.
Remember Falcon?
The kid.
Yeah, the kid.
Yeah.
So the long and short of that is, for anybody that doesn't know that story, because we all lived it, we were all on the radio during that time, and we remember talking about it. But basically, this guy builds a helium-based UFO. It's basically like a big Mylar balloon like you see for birthdays. And it has a little platform in it. And the thing launches, allegedly it launches by accident and isn't tethered. And the kid's like, Dad, Falcon is in there, Dad. And he's like, what the F? And blah, blah, blah. It's like terrible acting.
Yeah.
And then
we believed it for a while, though.
Totally
we
verbally
did.
abusive to the wife.
Oh, nice.
And then allegedly the kid was never in there. The kid was never in the balloon.
Wasn't the kid like in the barn?
Yeah, allegedly fell asleep. And then they go on national TV. They go on Larry King. And he's like, they're all lined up. And it's not Larry King. It was somebody filling in for Larry King that night. And he goes, so Falcon, what happened here? And he's like, how did this happen? He's like, well, this is the story we're supposed to tell for the show. I'm like, no. And then it all spirals.
Oh my gosh.
Is that what the thread that?
Yeah, it's pretty much it all.
So Dad planned it all and didn't fill everyone in on practicing all of their acting skills. Okay.
Here's the deal. I'll just say this right now. I get emotional and can cry during songs, during golden buzzers.
Yeah.
As the older I get, the more emotional I get. I can hear a song and get a little teary-eyed. If I tell you that I'm devastated and I'm not crying, I'm lying. I'm lying to you.
Right.
So take me to jail. I'm lying. I'm telling you, when these people are all emotional, and then this guy keeps dabbing nothing off of his eyes, you're a liar.
Yeah, like your kid may be flying away forever.
Right.
And if not that, may crash and die. I mean, there's no way if your kid's really in there that you're not freaking out. Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. You watch that. It's 54 minutes. It's like the shortest documentary ever, and it's action packed. So you'll be fine with it. So then YouTube. After I went to YouTube, and it suggested that I might like this video.
Okay.
Let me just play you this. Let me just play this here. Hang on a second. What do we got here? The Eagles?
Yeah.
This blew me away. I was like, this cannot be real. And it's totally real.
You never heard this song before?
Yeah. Listen.
Oh, something's going to happen. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad.
You know how to do the showbiz?
Yeah.
No, listen.
Is this a story we're supposed to?
Okay, ready? This is a little kid.
Yeah.
All the instruments and the music is also being played by little kids.
Really?
Yes, they're called the Greystones.
Wow.
And I mean, they only put this video up a week ago. They've been performing. I mean, listen to this.
What are they, like 10?
They got it.
They sound like a little guy. Yeah.
I was like,
and how many of them? Like 5,
1,
6?
2, 3. There's like maybe 4 or 5 of them.
Playing the drums, the guitar.
They do the harmonies. I mean, holy crap, right? I mean,
we got Heron on keys.
Hi, I'm Grayson. And I'm Max. On behalf of the Greystones, we wanted to say thank you so much for listening to the music that we put up. We worked really hard to create these videos, and we're so happy that you guys...
I mean, this kid is like playing the bass guitar. I mean, I'm going, this is the Eagles. It's so hard to play.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm going to look for that.
Yeah, we've got Grayson on drums, Max on bass, Hope on vocals. I wish that it would say on their website how old they are. They look like they're like 11.
They rehearsed for 2 weeks and nailed this stunning take in one afternoon. It's their third pass and it's draw. So they basically rehearsed for 2 weeks. And that's like kids doing it, I mean, night and day with this, because you don't just master that song. And then they recorded it 3 times, and that was the third take.
That was the third take.
Third take.
Wow. It has is that song I Can't Tell You Why?
Yeah.
2.6 million views on YouTube.
Do you see it though, or no? The video?
Yes. Oh, there are more kids. Yep.
But you see, let's show Allison. I mean, you see, they're like little kids. The drummer's like a little kid.
That's
I wonder
crazy.
the sequence of events. Did they all play instruments and then got together, or did they decide they want to do that and then get instrument? Either way, props to all the parents too.
Right.
Because this can't happen without them supporting it, getting them instruments, allowing them to do this.
And I don't think they're related. I mean, they're all different kids, different types of kids. Yeah. But I mean, that girl comes in and her vocal is
that's a girl singing?
Yeah, that's Hope.
Oh, I thought that was a little boy.
No.
You can't tell when
And
they're
she's
that
playing
little.
the piano and I'm singing. I'm like, wow. I was like, what talent? All right.
That's what you're going to be watching from. You know what? I can get on board with you watching that versus all these little Tiny House Nation and other shows.
Careful now.
I still feel like I want a tiny house in Maine next to a lobster shanty of some form. A lobster shanty or shack.
That sounds like heaven.
Yeah. Once I had that lobster roll in California, I'm like, I want to go to Maine and have lobster rolls and live in a tiny house.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Just really quick, we had the lottery conversation again yesterday. Warren had some numbers he's into 47 because he thinks his odds are better, which is only going to get us a couple $1 million, but that's fine.
You'll take it.
But so he's got a plan. He's like, I'm going to buy a house and then some land up by the water up north. And I was like, well, I have a plan and I'm going to buy a condo where there's a pool. And he's like, well, that's why we're going to split it. I'm like, so if we win the lotto, we're not going to live together. And he's like, he's so
That actually might be the best case scenario for you.
He's so married to his plan, though.
It's what
he's like.
It's what Holland Taylor and Sarah Paulson
Is that what they do?
Yeah,
they
they
don't
have
live
separate
together.
places.
My kitchen would always be clean and no one would cook in there.
Right.
Yeah.
and you'd actually get the best of each other.
Right. Yeah.
Instead of the worst. All right. 100.3 WNIC. Couple headlines this morning on WNIC. The TSA may soon change its liquid rules for carry-on. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem teased possible updates to the current 3.4-ounce limit, gave no timeline. That will make a lot of people happy when it comes to like their expensive shampoo that they brought on the plane.
For sure, but I just feel like we've been doing it this way for so long. Like we just figured out how to, it's kind of like when we had to wear masks for so long, at least with me, I just kind of got in the habit and I didn't think about it anymore. And I just I had some trial and errors where they took things from me and I was like, and then I learned. And now you just pour them into those little, I don't know. I just feel that's great. I'm not against it, but you're going to be confused again at what the amount is. I'm going to be confused again.
I'm just happy that our Jay's Junior's parents who had to put like formula and special stuff might not get in trouble anymore.
That's why it's going to be a good thing. Yeah, because that was dumb.
Allison?
I know
you love news about the president. The president says Coca-Cola is planning to bring real cane sugar to its classic soda formula in the United States, ditching high fructose corn syrup. Now, Coke hasn't confirmed it yet, but says there is more information coming. Here's the question.
Yes.
Take the politics out. Will you be upset if Coke changes from high fructose corn syrup to sugar?
Well, I chatted with my associate at my house yesterday.
Oh, good.
And apparently I'm not going to care.
Okay.
And we will be better off.
Okay.
He said high fructose corn syrup, not good, and you should avoid it. And he calls it Mexican Coke.
It is. Right, it's Coke from Mexico, and it's in a bottle.
And he buys Mexican Coke in those little bottles for his rum drinks.
Okay.
He's been doing that for a while. And so I had one yesterday. And he's like, I mean, you should avoid all of it. He goes, but you're always going to be better off with real sugar over corn
what'd you
fructose.
think?
Well, I don't notice the difference.
That's great.
So
okay,
I think,
good.
Yeah, I think we're going to be okay.
But the Coke Zero, you do notice a difference.
I do. Yeah.
I might do a blind taste test with you one day.
Well,
with like 5, I'm going to do 5 soft drinks.
It would be awesome if I could get on board with Coke Zero. I mean, who doesn't want to eliminate sugar?
Right. But then they also say, is the stuff they're putting in it that tastes like sugar any better for you? I don't know. I don't know.
It's like a lot of, isn't it like
hyperbole?
A lot of vegan people are upset with what's in those Impossible burgers to the point where they're just eating real meat now.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what? No cows died.
And
that's
Well, if
the
you're for that
bottom
reason?
That's the bottom line.
Yes. The cow lives. The
cow
chemicals live on. Finally, a Burger King worker in South Carolina went viral after revealing she had to run the entire store by herself when a coworker quit. She did everything from drive-through to dishes, and supporters are urging her to start a GoFundMe for her and her 3 kids. Burger King's investigating, as they should.
Yeah, that's not okay.
This story spoke to me. I just told you guys last week or the week before about the time on the 4th of July that my boss was like, take the keys, go in, open the restaurant.
Oh, right.
Maybe a couple people will come in and have beers at the bar.
Right.
And it wound up getting packed, and I went back to the kitchen and was making food and waiting on tables, and I was doing it all. Why was there no internet back then?
Oh, the viral moments you have.
I know.
Mm-hmm. All right. There you go. There's some headlines on 100.3 W. So what happened on this day with a little back in the day? We'll start with 70 years ago today in 1955, Disneyland opened in Anaheim, California. Yeah, I mean, that was a big deal. Walt Disney welcomed everybody. There's a new, I guess it's at Disneyland. It's not at Disney World, but people keep sharing it. There's a new animatronic Walt Disney. There's something where, I mean, they've in 2025, you know, how they did Pirates of the Caribbean, they've mastered it. I mean,
they should.
It looks like he's back.
I wonder why it took so long.
I also wonder why it's not at Disney World.
I'm sure it will be at some point.
I always think that that's the bigger deal.
It is. It's a world.
But
a world's always bigger than a land.
Always. In 1984, the national drinking age in the United States was changed from 18 to 21. I didn't know it was 18 before 1984.
Who was the bummer president?
It would have been Reagan.
Oh.
You know what is so depressing to me? I was in the grocery store the other day and saw you have to be this year and it's
you don't want to look
2006 or whatever it is. But I'm like,
crazy.
This is so depressing. I remember when it was 1990 when it was my year and I was so pumped.
What's worse is when it's a year that you look at that you need to be born by, and you know that in that year you were buying alcohol legally.
Right.
So I mean, it's how old you are.
I'm not sure if this is correct anymore or ever was, but I don't know that there's a drinking age in Europe or places in Europe like their little kids drink wine.
Yeah.
They also drink wine differently there, though, than we do here. Like, they might have a glass of wine at dinner every night, but, they're not having multiple bottles.
Well,
of
I know
wine.
the Italians as being I know we don't. I'm pretty sure in Italy. Can you look? What's the drinking age in Italy? I don't know.
I will look.
But I feel like there is,
should
it's
look.
not to get hammered. It's
No.
like, hey, Roman's home from school, get him a red wine and some lasagna. Like, I'm pretty sure we do it that way.
It's 18.
It is 18.
Oh, so they do have a drinking age.
Yeah, it's illegal to sell or serve alcohol to anyone under 18, but it's not uncommon for teenagers to, drink with their families.
Sure. 27 years ago in 1998, The Mask of Zorro was released with Antonio Banderas, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Anthony Hopkins.
I saw it.
Yeah, is that the world Zorro? I think so. Nobody remembers the guy from the old TV show, right?
I don't think so.
No. So, yeah, that's Zorro. 10 years ago in 2015, Ant-Man was released with Paul Rudd. We like Paul Rudd. Here's a little bit of that.
Thank you, Luis.
Hey, are we the good guys?
Yeah.
We're the good guys, right?
Yeah, we're the good guys.
Feels kind of weird,
Yeah, but we're not done yet.
I have no
couldn't get
attachment to Ant-Man.
I couldn't get past. I love Paul Rudd, but it just seems too dumb to have a superhero based on an ant.
Yeah, it's a comic thing.
It's probably a great movie, but
All right, WNIC Dearborn, Detroit. It's time for Hollywood Minute Now. Chelsea has that brought to you this time around by David Femininio. Get David, get paid.
Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath's final show set a new record for the highest-grossing charity concert of all time. It raised over $190 million.
Wow.
Just the one show?
I guess so.
Wow.
Gwyneth Paltrow and Madonna's friendship reportedly ended after a tense island vacation. This is all detailed in a new book, Gwyneth, the biography. So Madonna showed up to this vacation uninvited, demanded that she have dinner with Gwyneth and Chris Martin. And then they berated her daughter, Lourdes, in front of them, left them completely disturbed. And Chris was like, I can't be around this woman anymore. She's awful. That marked the end of the friendship.
Well, okay, so your story starts off with Madonna being real bossy, but then Gwyneth retaliates against Lourdes?
No.
Oh, Madonna was berating her own daughter.
Madonna was berating her own daughter,
I
yes.
do feel like the Gwyneth Paltrow doesn't that seem maybe like her, right?
Well, she's got that whole goop reputation.
Right, that's what, yeah.
Being
like I feel like I'd want to meet Gwyneth Paltrow and I'd be excited to meet her. And then when she looked at me, she would tell me like my skin's not good.
I think she's actually way more down to earth than people think.
Really?
She does these Ask Me Anything questions on Instagram and like will answer literally anything. She just seems like a normal person, which is surprising.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Ariana Grande took to social media to assure her fans that despite the fact she's spending so much time in Hollywood making these movies and stuff, she is not leaving music. She said, "It has always been my lifeline. There will need to be room made for all of this, but she plans on singing for everyone next year, even if it's just a little."
I wasn't concerned.
All of her fans were.
I knew that she would sing again.
I thought you didn't sleep last night.
And finally, Barack Obama is the latest guest on his wife Michelle Obama's podcast, and they joked about the rumors about getting divorced.
Oh,
wait, you guys like each other?
Oh yeah, really? Huh?
That's so
the
nice.
rumor mill. It's my husband, y'all.
She took me back.
Now don't start.
I can't.
It was touch and go for a while.
It's so nice to have you both in the same room together.
I know, because when we aren't, folks think we're divorced.
Oh, there you go.
All right. I was going to critique the audio.
I was going to say the same, right?
I was thinking the exact same
That's
thing.
the podcast studio?
Used to be the president and first lady. You need a cord that connects you better to your microphone.
Right.
I think that was like behind the scenes footage coming together kind of a thing before starting. But yeah, I thought the same thing too.
Yeah, because if our studio audio is better than Barack Obama's, something's wrong.
That's a problem.
TV tonight, we have Celebrity, Family Feud, and Trans.
Jay Towers, Allison, and Chelsea. Hello. Welcome to Thursday. Thursdays on our show, we do something called Crazy Lines. We go around the room and tell you something about ourselves that make us a little crazy or not right in the head or just different. Because it's beautiful to be different.
Celebrate it.
Let's celebrate it. I feel like I get into something not obsessed, but I get into something and then hold on to it for a very long time and then release it and then it's gone and don't go back to it. And right now it's that Eggo maple syrup coffee.
Oh yeah, you're really into that.
Yeah, I can't get enough of it. I'm constantly like, have we reordered the Eggo waffle maple syrup coffee?
That's your jam right now.
Is there any arrived at the house yet? And I keep bringing it. I said, yeah. But then what will happen is, much like the Christmas sugar cookie, I'll just get at it and then I won't. And that'll be it. Like it's my love for weeks and sometimes months.
Yeah, no, I get that.
And then it's gone. And I may not even go back to it.
I don't know if other people do. I completely understand because I do it too. Remember?
Yeah, you're speaking to the right person. She gets on those jags.
I was just telling you about my omelet bites.
Yeah.
I was eating those omelet bites for years and years, and then I almost miss them, but I'm not buying them because I've moved on, and now all I eat is rice. Which is really, I'm sure, smart.
And the Stouffer's French red pizza, right?
In between the rice.
You're like Benjamin Button. You're actually aging backwards. You look the best you've ever looked.
I know.
So, I mean, there's something to say about the French red pizza.
Yeah, and no one can find anything wrong with me anywhere in my body.
I would like to say thank you for bringing in this chocolate cherry coffee that you keep bringing in, because that's really good.
No, that's good. The cherry cordial?
Yes.
Delicious. Allison, you're up.
There's two things crazy about this, that I do it and that I recognize that it's crazy and probably won't fix it. I have two hall closets in my very short hallway.
Okay.
A shelved hall closet and a hanging hall closet. In the hanging hall closet are hangers all the way down the rack with tote bags hanging off them. That's all. Open up the hall closet and you will just see like...
When's the last time you used one of those tote bags?
I don't use tote bags.
Yeah.
Ever.
Right.
You could put so much stuff in there.
And that's why it's double crazy, because I recognize, why do I have a museum of tote bags in a closet I could use?
Right. Does your boyfriend Warren use tote bags?
Nobody uses tote bags. We just get them all the time. And it's not just one tote bag on a hanger, it's about 4. Like a couple hang off the front, a couple hang off and it's just a line of tote bags all in the closet.
You know what's going to make you feel so good? Dropping all of those bad boys off to Salvation Army and clearing up your closet.
So I get shaky when I think about taking the tote bags out and getting rid of tote bags I don't use.
Well, now you know how your sister feels when you say you're going to clean out her apartment.
You know what you are? You're TBH. A tote bag hoarder.
Oh, yeah.
Chelsea, you're up.
Okay, so right outside of the Fox 2 building, there's this street called Rutland Drive.
Yeah.
And they have been working on it. There's been construction on it forever, which thank God, because the road was terrible. I, unfortunately, am not going to be able to drive on it for the next probably 6 months.
This is why she's crazy.
Because I am so embarrassed. I had a little vehicle mishap. I didn't think I was able to get down the road. So I turned around, hopped the curb. My car was like teetering on the curb while all these construction workers are around. And you could get through the street.
Yeah.
So my bad. And I can't show my face there anymore for a while.
The mishap's not the crazy part. I got lost in that division too. I drove right into a dumpster.
Yeah.
It's the fact that she won't go back there.
I won't.
Who cares or remembers that you did that?
Because what if the same construction workers are like, there is that
They
car
won't.
again.
They see cars every day. They won't remember.
Well,
they
either
can
way,
remember you, but they won't remember that.
Now I have to go down to the street. It's about half a mile down where you can turn at Providence and then get on the highway.
You're insane, and I have a lot of tote bags that I don't use. And I'm saying that.
Can I just say one thing about that Rutland?
Yeah, right.
And listen, if you're listening to the show or you're watching this on Fox Local, you most likely in your life will never go down this road because it's nowhere near you or you didn't have to get down. But I will say in your defense, it is odd that road is open.
Yeah.
But it gives you 4 different times on that road where you feel like you've made a mistake.
Yes.
You're like, wait a minute. Maybe it's not open because I'm forced to now be on the other side of the road and I'm going to get in a head on. Wait a minute. There's no road past here. It's a hole.
Wait a minute. Why is there a piece of cardboard with an arrow telling me what way to go? I'm not sure if this is real.
Right.
Why is my GPS driving me through an apartment complex?
Right.
Why?
So there you go. There's crazy lines from your 3 crazy friends at the...
Hey there, Detroit. I'm your host, Bree Teamer. Thanks so much for joining us today on this July 17th. I had to look at my phone to get a little reminder there. You're watching Fox 2 Detroit live at 3, and it starts right now.
Live from the Fox 2 Newsroom, this is Fox 2 Detroit.
All right, well, breaking news right here. A barricaded standoff is underway with police on the west side of Detroit. Now, what we know is police are at the scene at Priest and Chalfonte Streets. That's near Finkel and Greenfield. We are trying to learn more about the person barricaded inside the home right now. Police aren't giving us much information at this hour. We'll keep watching and keep you posted on any new developments that come out of this scene right here. It looks like police are just kind of waiting in the streets, seeing what's happening right now. As our photog out there is panning out, we see police presence throughout the streets. Looks like they're trying to get through that gate there potentially. Maybe not, or prepping to go inside. We will continue to watch this so we can find out what is going on. Be sure to stick with us here at Fox 2 Detroit Live. Well, let's get into our top story this afternoon. A Detroit teen accused of hitting and killing a father of two during a police chase in Macomb County is now charged as an adult. 16-year-old Daniel Canales was arraigned this morning on several charges, including second-degree murder and fleeing police, among other offenses. That crash happened early Saturday morning. Now, police say Canales led officers on a chase in a stolen car, then ran a red light near 11 Mile and Van Dyke in Warren, hitting and killing 28-year-old Alex Habib, who was out driving for Uber. Habib was a father of two who leaves behind a 3-month-old and a 1-year-old. Canales, who does not have a criminal record, was reprimanded to the Macomb County Juvenile Justice Center. He's due back in court later this month. Well, a former Detroit pastor is headed to prison for sexually assaulting a 17-year-old boy. Reverend Kenneth Flowers was sentenced today to 4 to 15 years in prison. He pleaded no contest to sexually assaulting the teen in Farmington Hills back in December of 2023. Flowers had been a pastor at Greater New Mount Moriah Baptist Church in Detroit for nearly 30 years. But we're also learning more about two women found dead inside a home in Warren on Wednesday. The two women were the 73-year-old homeowner and a 75-year-old woman from Fraser. This morning, police say the evidence in the case is pointing towards the two women agreeing to a suicide pact. Now, there were no signs of any forced entry or robbery, and police say there's no danger to the public. They are still investigating. This happened on Joanne Smith Drive near 10 Mile and Mild. Now, if you or anyone you know is struggling, it's okay to reach out for help. You can call or text the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. It's available 24/7 and it's free of charge. Well, the man accused of murdering an Oakland County woman nearly 9 years ago was back in court yesterday. Prosecutors say Floyd Galloway killed Danielle Stilitsky after she left her Southfield job back in 2016. Her body has never been found, and Holloway's lawyers asking the judge to kick the Attorney General's office off the case and replace them. She claims they've mishandled the case and blamed them for evidence being suppressed. But prosecutors say it's not up to the judge to decide.
We believe that the Attorney General's handling of the privileged information that came into its possession further violated my client's rights and tainted the prosecutors who came into contact with that information from prosecuting this case.
I'm unaware of any case where a judge has said, AG's office, Oakland County's office, Wayne County, Macomb County, you guys are off, and I'm going to appoint a prosecutor, because there's nothing in the law that allows for that.
The judge says he'll be ruling on this later on. Galloway is expected to stand trial next year. Well, the Detroit Opera House is facing a financial crisis. The problem is so severe, they've already canceled the 2025 season opener, Puccini's The Girl of the Golden West. Tax documents obtained by the Detroit Free Press show plunging revenues and steep losses in both personal donations and government funding. The Opera House dance season and 3 remaining operatic productions remain unaffected at this time. Well, Fox 2 first told you about two teenagers sleeping outside in the freezing cold back in December. Now another video is going around raising questions about how they're being treated. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack is working to get some answers.
This is the new video reigniting a story hard to forget.
Shoes, blankets, toothbrush. This is the craziest thing I've seen.
That's me on the porch of a West Side Detroit home where brothers, now 12 and 16, were living outside in frigid December temps in 2024. This story sparked community outrage after learning the kids' parents live inside. Detroit Police Major Crimes and CPS launched an in-depth investigation.
They wanted to sleep out there. That's what they told neighbors. That's what they've told anybody who tried to help them.
The DPD investigation revealed parents struggling to handle the kids' serious, out-of-control behavioral issues, the oldest with an assault complaint against a family member.
They don't want them on the porch, but they are not going to fight and chance getting into a physical altercation with a 6'5", 220-pound 15-year-old.
Sources say the oldest brother's behavior is even worse, terrorizing their parents and teachers, and now posting this video.
She just kicked me. Oh, that's another one. That's another one, Officer Harrison. That's on video. I love to see it.
We asked DPD about this video. They said in part the Detroit Police Department has thoroughly investigated the incident and found no injuries of child abuse. The mother was only detained to be transported to the precinct for questioning. All the allegations made from the children toward their parents have been unfounded. Historically, we have found that the 16-year-old has been the aggressor toward his parents and has reported the parents to be the aggressor.
Ain't that another one?
The theory is the kids are working together to get emancipated from their parents by using social media to discredit them. Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
Well, Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan picking up a big endorsement today in his run for governor. The Detroit Regional Chamber's Political Action Committee is throwing their support behind Duggan's campaign. It's pretty early for them to pick a candidate. The announcement from the Detroit Chamber came months before the Southeast Michigan Business Organization traditionally reveals which candidate it's supporting. Duggan is running as an independent. At 3 is just getting started. Macomb County trying to fetch some help at animal control. The message they want all animal lovers to hear. We'll tell you about that straight ahead. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live, giving you a nice, beautiful look outside at our beautiful city, downtown Detroit. Is what you're looking at. 77 degrees is the time at 3:10 in the afternoon. Well, times are a little rough at Macomb County Animal Control. It's in need of people to adopt pets and also people to work there. Now, staffing levels are low. There's a need for 5 more officers. Outside of the building, workers also serve Roseville and St. Clair Shores.
Like many law enforcement agencies, we have staffing issues where we're trying to figure out how do we hire 5 more additional officers for animal control. People can adopt one of these animals or they can foster them. I'm fostering one right now myself. It's a beautiful husky.
You can learn more about the Macomb Animal Control on our website, fox2detroit.com. Okay, let's get into this weather with Stephanie Mee. 77 degrees right now. It was, like 87 yesterday around this time. So a 10 degree drop that we've experienced in the past 24 hours. Is it going to drop any more?
You know what? I do think we'll probably stay in the realm of 70s, which is great. Our humidity levels are going to drop, which is fantastic.
Okay. Yeah,
so it's going to
great.
feel a little bit better for us here. Tomorrow's going to be the best day, I think, out of the entire week and over the next, say, 5 to 6 days. It's going to be comfortable. Sunshine's going to be around. We'll be in the upper 70s. Right now, we're in the upper 70s at 77 degrees. We're near 80 down in Toledo, and our temperatures north and west of us, mainly in the 60s. So it's even cooler up north. 71 Muskegon, 62 Traverse City, and it feels nice up there too. Very refreshing. So if you're heading up north early, say today, I think you're going to be in store for at least a cooler start to your weekend. Then it starts to get a little bit back to summer temperatures by Saturday and Sunday. Dew point readings are low too, so nothing to worry about in terms of humidity. I mean, it's not oppressive by any means. There's huge improvements compared to yesterday, at least in that department. And we're going to continue to see even more improvements there over the next 24 hours. Sky Tracker not tracking much at the moment, so at least we're seeing a nice little reprieve from the rain. Upper 70s this afternoon, 79 degrees. Shower chances obviously have come to an end. There might be a stray sprinkle again around, but nothing really of substance with a lot of cloud cover. And we're seeing that here across most of southeast Michigan at this point. Temperatures begin to come down tonight. And actually tonight might be a good night to enjoy some time out on the patio, whether you're going out for dinner or maybe just a nice relaxing night outside. It'll feel nice. It's not going to be super humid. Hopefully the mosquitoes aren't going to be in full force, but if they are, maybe just light your candle, wear your bug spray. Temps will be in the low 60s. We'll see decreasing cloud cover, so more clearing occurs late tonight and overnight. And that's going to lead into a really bright Friday. Temps will be in the upper 70s. Nice day. Scattered storms return on Saturday with our highs returning to the 80s. And our humidity levels are going to kind of be all over the place. So it's nice today, tomorrow, and then we'll slowly start to see those numbers inch upwards Saturday and Sunday through this weekend. And then early next week, our humidity levels honestly don't look super bad until we head into Wednesday and Thursday, where we increase our rain chances, but also our temperatures as well. Precip chances this weekend, especially Saturday, late Saturday nights when they diminish. By Sunday, we should see our rain chances begin to really become sparse. And I think Sunday afternoon rather looks okay. Monday, late Tuesday, we see our next chance of rain and then begins to remain unsettled Wednesday into Thursday of next week. So more of that daily rain chance middle to late next week. And here's our Fox Futurecast model just for this weekend. Now, as of right now, the severe weather is south of us. We could see that change and evolve as we head through the next 24 hours. But for right now, we don't necessarily have any severe weather threat heading into this weekend, just that scattered afternoon shower chance. And then late in the evening hours, we should see that chance really diminish. Next week is when we could be talking more heat, and we could be talking possibly near 90 degrees as we see that heat dome set up in the middle of the country. And with the way this is setting up, we're kind of on the outer edge of that. So that's going to give us more opportunities for, unfortunately, showers and thunderstorms. So we're kind of riding along that ridge. We have storms that develop along that ridge. We call them ridge runners, and we are right along that ridge. So that's why we have that opportunity, especially midweek, for those showers and thunderstorms. The extended forecast shows temps low 80s Sunday, Monday. Tuesdays when we start to see those numbers start to go up. So they'll be above seasonal as we head into Tuesday afternoon, and then we could be near 90, if not lower 90s by Wednesday of next week.
I gotta say, this is the craziest summer weather-wise that I can remember.
Yeah, it's been very active. Just in terms of that daily storm chance, it's been very wet too.
Yeah.
The rain's been exceptionally heavy for a lot of locations.
Yeah, it's just been all over the place. I mean, it's been hot, really hot some days, almost too hot. And then the next day it's like pouring down, raining. Then we got flood warnings and flood watches and all kinds of things. There's a lot of things happening with the weather right now.
Yeah, and luckily right now, at least within this moment and into Friday, it remains kind of quiet. And even I think heading into this weekend, our storm chances are there, but it's really nothing to cancel plans over, kind of like last weekend.
Yes.
Where you could still be outside, but you just have to be watching that radar. So.
Yes, and I think that's so important because we got, like a month and a half left of summer, really?
Yeah, it feels like it. I mean, before you know it, I know a lot of folks are already talking about back to school stuff. I see it already in like all of the stores. So it's hard to not get into that like thought of next phase, like what's coming up next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I remember I used to get so excited about back to school shopping when I was a kid.
It all smells
and
so good.
Yes, and get all new supplies like the crayons and the markers and the folders.
The eraser, I don't know what it is about a new eraser. You're like, oh, this works so great.
Yeah.
And then like within the first 2 weeks, you're losing everything. Stuff is ripping. You're using one folder
Right.
to put all of your work into.
Right.
I was always the type B kid where everything was disorganized and I'm just throwing it all into one folder.
Just like shove it in my backpack.
That's exactly right. I'm the kid with the paper coming out of the backpack.
No,
like,
it's so weird because I'm like so organized now. Like it's just like I have stuff like in specific areas in my filing cabinet and all.
I wish
color
I was
coordinating
that
my
way.
calendar. It's just like I think it's because I'm an adult now, and I was just like I gotta have fun some way somehow.
Yeah, organizing is your way.
Yeah,
I suppose that
yeah.
I mean it helps you in the long run.
Yeah,
I am
for sure.
not. I am like just chaotic with as long as I remember where I put it. And the clutter is still there, then it's fine.
Organized chaos, right?
That's exactly.
There we go. You know where it's
Step
at.
back in the weather office and take a look at all of our desks, and you'll be like, "Wow, these people are not
like,
organized in any capacity."
Which one's Steph? Oh, no one's organized.
No, you'll see Alan and Derek's desk in the back. It's got all of their stuff. Rich is the main weather area, so he doesn't really have a whole lot of stuff there. But if you look, I'm the one where you first walk in. It has two pictures of my dogs, and then you'll be like, "This is chaotic," and also
I feel
kind
like
of
Rich
gross.
would be really organized, though. He's not.
I don't think he's particularly organized, but he knows what's going on. He doesn't have a whole lot of stuff to organize.
Yeah.
I will say he does have a filing cabinet, and it is very much organized.
There we go. I knew Rich had some organization going on. He's a Virgo.
Yeah.
So,
oh,
yeah.
okay. Wait, I'm an Aries. What does that mean?
You're like me.
Okay.
So we have that organized chaos going on.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
It holds true.
Yeah, for sure. Howard to what? When's your birthday?
I'm a Scorpio.
Okay.
Oh, he's a Scorpio. That means he's mysterious.
I need to ask you more questions about the whole astrological thing off air
Please do.
because like
Please
you seem
do.
to know so much about this and I'm just so intrigued by it.
Please do. I'll talk about it all day, honestly.
Perfect.
All right, Steph. Get out of
See
here.
him.
Well, country music fans are bummed after a new festival was canceled just days before it was set to be held. Organizers have pulled the plug on the inaugural Country Roads Music Festival, which was scheduled for this weekend in Brooklyn. The festival aimed to fill a void made by Faster Horses, which was canceled this year. Those behind Country Roads' cancellation say they didn't sell enough tickets for it.
After we got everything done and got tickets on sale, we probably only had April, May, June, really only about 3.5 months. And I think in hindsight, Monday morning quarterbacking here, it probably wasn't sufficient time to be able to promote the festival. Nobody wanted to have this more than I did. I'm heartbroken.
Ticket holders will get a full refund. Organizers say they plan to hold Country Roads next year. Well, hopefully they can sell enough tickets. Probably getting some promo from this a little bit, right?
Not good promo.
Not good promo, but at least people know it exists. I didn't know. All right, well, you can spend your Tuesday nights this summer enjoying live music and good company. We're talking about the Brightmoor Music Series, which started Tuesday night and runs every Tuesday through September 2nd. It's a free, family-friendly festival with live music, food trucks, and even some merchandise vendors. This was all made possible by a local family who created both the park and the festival in honor of a loved one.
We first acquired the property. This was replete with abandoned homes, burnout vehicles, all kinds of nefarious things, crime. And we came in, we purchased a number of lots. we worked with the building authority to have some of the homes raised to the ground, and we created this park, which we named after our mother, Ethel May Williams. So what you see here today is as a result of a family who was interested in helping to clean up a neighborhood and create something or converting it into something that is fun, that is family friendly, and that will always be free to patrons.
Now, this is the 5th year for the festival. It's located in the Brightmoor area on the corner of Burgess and Asia. You can find more information at williamspark.org. Well, silence creates division in the case of Jeffrey Epstein. Coming up, what the president and one of his top allies are saying about it. Plus, still to come, a revolutionary treatment for people with spinal cord injuries. After the break, how the walk in recovery can change lives. We'll talk about that. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit's Live. It's time for our news cam segment where we take a walk around our newsroom and we check on everyone. We talk to everyone who's willing and they tell us what they've been working on for the day. And we started something a little bit new yesterday. After soccer went off the air, we had a little bit of a break, a little bit of a gap in between our stream and our 5 o'clock hour of news. So we did a news cam segment and it was great. So you really got to see a lot of the behind the scenes of the anchors going into the studio and getting started. So stick around for that at 5 o'clock. Now, all of that you hear right now is our scanner. I don't know if you can see me if I'm yelling, but that is part of what Nathan's job here is to watch that and see what's going on. So, Nathan, what's up?
Well, yes, if you guys can hear a little bit of background noise, we have a chopper going up Oregon Road between Dutton and Collins Road. There's flooding over there, so we're kind of keeping an eye on that. And rolling on that, we're also keeping an eye on a bad crash over in Allen Park that we're keeping an eye on. So that's kind of why we have the chopper going up right now. So some exciting but loud times in the back corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what, Nathan? I'm not sure if this is a good experience for our viewers. That's probably really loud. So we'll get we'll get you another day. We'll get you another day. Thank you, Nathan. Let's go see what's happening over here with Dave Comer.
Hello. How are you,
He's got something going on. Any update on that barricaded situation?
Not yet. We're still keeping an eye on it. It's over near Finkel and Greenfield on the west side, as we know, and we've heard that it may be like a mental crisis situation, but there's no confirmation as of yet whether the suspect is armed or not. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully everything gets resolved safely in a quick, soon, and in a hurry.
Yes.
So other stuff we've been tracking, this President Trump diagnosis kind of came out of the blue.
Okay.
Chronic venous insufficiency. This came up at the White House press briefing that we just heard, and apparently it has to do with like bruising on the hands, but more importantly, it really affects the circulation in your legs. We've got more information online about it. In terms of
This just came out today?
Yes, this just happened. Maybe an hour ago.
Oh wow!
They talked about it. It affects blood flow in the legs, and it's what's concerning about it is it can that can lead to like circulatory problems like chronic vein thrombosis or which leads to a blood clot, that sort of thing. But
it's pretty
apparently,
dangerous.
Yep. But he is 79, and so this stuff does happen. We've got chronic venous insufficiency.
Is this a picture of what it kind of looks like?
Right.
And that's the president's hand.
Right. You can see the bruising there, and that can come just from even like handshakes. Nothing even that crazy. So and basically it occurs when the veins in the legs are damaged and they struggle to return blood to the heart, and that can lead to pooling, pressure, and symptoms like swelling, skin changes, and then ulcers as well. So that just came out a little while ago. We've got all the information, including why you should care and what are some signs that you could recognize that with people, and treatment ideas. And then the other thing was, and this is a pretty cool one, props to the Monroe Police Canine Apollo, who helped bust 71 kilos of cocaine.
Wow. How do you do that?
That's a picture of Apollo looking awesome. And
with the kilos behind him.
Yes, indeed. And it originated from a traffic stop that Michigan State Police did. They radioed for Monroe Police to help with their canine unit, and Apollo sniffed it out. It was in a semi-truck that they stopped, and this is about almost $2 million in cocaine.
Wow.
That 71 kilos, and Apollo, and we can't forget his human partner, canine officer Peyton Smithers. So props to Peyton as well.
Was this truck coming from out of state, or was it traveling within Michigan?
Actually, it was. That is not clear in the police report, but I can tell you that it was actually on its way northbound on I-75, headed to the Metro Detroit area. So, so that was a huge bust
coming here.
That happened recently. And Canine Apollo, you can't say enough about them. And these. One of the many things that these police canines can do. So, very cool.
Incredible, yeah. The fact that he sniffed that out, and then during a traffic stop of all places, too.
Yep. So,
and they're trained to do that.
Pretty neat stuff.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Bree.
Let's jump right over here to Jack Nissen. I think he looks very busy, like he's just working diligently over here.
Oh, this is my diligent working face?
Yes. You look very focused, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, no. It means that news is happening. Well, for anybody...
Say hi, Jess.
Hi! Stealing the show as always. No, you're not. The Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy would like anybody interested. Ooh, actually, let's take a look at this first here. Show the TV here. This is chopper over some flooding in on Orion Road. I don't really know. I'm going to guess the road was washed out because of the weather yesterday, but that is far more extensive than I was expecting.
Yeah, this is something that Nathan said that they were on their way to. It looks like they just got there. They're just zooming in and panning out on this. This is a intense situation that's happening right there. It's just flowing out into the trees.
Well, That's going to stay. That road will be closed for the probably next couple of months or so.
Yeah.
They're going to have to redo all of that.
Well, it looks like something happened over here on the left side that caused it to collapse on this side.
I think there's a river here, and obviously the water level rose so much that it buckled the road underneath and washed it out. So I guess avoid Canyon Road on Orion Road.
Yes.
My gosh, that's terrible.
That is horrible.
Okay. Now for the vegetables of our news diet, Bree.
What you got?
Anybody who's interested, the Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy is inviting anyone to provide some public comments on Line 5. This has kind of been a controversial issue for the last 10 years at this point. No, maybe not quite that much. But I would say that Enbridge wants to build a tunnel under the streets of Mackinac for a new pipeline. And a lot of advocates have basically said, no way, this is not a good...
No way, Jose.
No way, Jose, yeah. They're a little concerned.
Wow. Sorry, Jack. Don't mean to interrupt, but this flooding is intense.
Yeah.
It is everywhere right now. It's a pretty serious situation right here. It makes sense why this street collapsed.
I mean,
on
yeah.
the side right there.
I often
and then
find...
we pan out, too. It's next to someone's home. This is a neighborhood, it looks like. Look at that all the way back there. It's a lot happening right now, and definitely that road is going to be closed for quite a bit here.
I often find that water is the great equalizer when it comes to any kind of damage. Flooding, obviously, is the extreme version of that, as well as some thunderstorms. But if flooding comes, you're not going to stop it. You can only sort of facilitate its movement.
Yeah, and it looks like it's already holding up traffic all the way back there. They're going to have to redirect those cars.
I believe those are emergency vehicles. But, I mean, this is going to take quite a while to get it all fixed up. So, yeah, a little bit of breaking news over here.
Yep, and we'll continue to keep our viewers updated on what's happening there.
Totally.
What else you got?
Well, Eagle wants to know if anybody would like to give some comments on Line 5. Basically, it's a controversial issue up north. Enbridge wants to build a pipeline underneath the streets of Mackinac, or a tunnel at least, and a lot of people have said, do not put that there. It's only going to cause a lot more issues and potentially lead to an oil spill that could taint the entire Great Lakes. Basically, Enbridge has been fighting with Michigan for the past 8 years to do this. They're getting pretty close to it, though. And so now, one of the last opportunities for people to provide their commentary on it is basically this next week, or next month, rather. You'll find more of it on our website, though.
All right. Thank you very much, Jack.
Thanks, Bree.
All right, that's going to conclude our News Cam segment. I will meet you back over on our website. I'll see you then. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit Live. A little bit of breaking news here. We spoke about this on Newscam with the Jack. We have a little bit of a clear understanding. Oakland County on Orion Road in Oakland Township. The whole street is just closed after flooding washed a large chunk of the street away near Dutton Road. Last night's storms caused the nearby Paint Creek to crest and flood into Orion Road. Crews are currently on site working to stabilize the road so utility repairs can begin. We can see them right there working on it as we speak. Now, the road will remain closed indefinitely. Authorities urging the public to avoid the area and exercise with caution. We will bring you anything that you need to know about this right here on Fox 2 Detroit. Well, there's growing demand from the public and lawmakers regarding the Jeffrey Epstein files. President Donald Trump, who once pledged to release the files, now urging everyone to move on. Back in 2019, Epstein died by suicide while in U.S. custody in a high-profile sex trafficking case. Epstein allegedly had a list of celebrity clients. He also once called Donald Trump his closest friend. Several months ago, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said the list of Epstein's clients list was on her desk. Now the Department of Justice says there is no list.
Have all of the credible information released for the American people to make their decision. We trust the American people, and I know the president does as well.
But I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff.
He's dead, he's gone, and all it is the Republicans, certain Republicans got duped by the Democrats, and they're following a Democrat playbook.
Some point out they have to be careful about what they release, considering it deals with crimes against minors. Well, the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey has been fired from the Justice Department. Maureen Comey, a veteran federal prosecutor, worked on high-profile cases involving Jeffrey Epstein and Sean Diddy Combs. No official reason was given for her termination. Sources say Comey was seen as a potential target, giving her fathers a highly public falling out with the president. Trump fired James Comey in 2017 amid a Russia probe. And just last month, the DOJ acknowledged an active investigation into the former FBI director. All right, we got a little bit of breaking news right now on that barricaded situation we told you about before, at the start of this show. We want to take you there live. It looks like the police officer, police chief maybe, is speaking right now.
All right, tell us what's going on here today. So about 1:30 this afternoon, we received a call that there was a gentleman who was out chasing children with a knife. Our officers made the location, as well as our mental health team. Once the mental health officers got there along with our officers, we started to try to get surrender or try to get that individual to turn himself over to us. We were able to recover 2 knives that he had. At this point in time, he would not get off the porch. We did deploy a couple of different less than lethal options. Some pepper balls and also what we call like a rubber ball that was fired at his thigh. None of those made him surrender, so we called in what we call barricaded gunmen, basically. And what we had to do, we had to make sure that we took this individual into protective custody, because right now he is a threat to the neighborhood. So right now that's where we stand. This individual does have a mental order. He's definitely in crisis right now, so we're doing the best we can to bring this to a peaceful resolution. All right, is he on the porch right now and still? No, he's inside the house right now. So we're still trying to get him to surrender, but we're going to be here until we're able to take him in protective custody. Can you describe the gentleman?
He's about 6 foot tall, about 200 pounds, black male.
What kind of history he got? What was happened before? You said something, he got history already, mental.
So he has a mental order that is in the system. We have also had runs before and calls before of this same nature with him. So this is like one of those things where we can't let it go any further, because the next call we have could be something very dangerous.
You were able to pick up 2 knives. Do you know if he has any other weapons on him?
Right now, we know he has access to more knives inside the house. We don't know what else may be in the house.
We're good. That's pretty much all we got.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that was just the latest on that situation happening there over in Detroit. I believe that was on Finkel somewhere on Detroit's west side. Let's get into the weather, though, with Stephanie Mee and see what's happening outside with that. 77 degrees right now, 3:40 is the time. Steph.
Yes. It actually looks pretty good.
Yes.
If you do have a lot of folks are probably wrapping up their day anyway. So if they're leaving work, they're leaving to go home.
Yes.
So
right.
Once you're heading out to your car, we do have a lot of comfortable weather out ahead of us, which is really, really great. Temperatures right now, mainly in the 70s. We have a lot of 70s here across Southeast Michigan. But if you travel a little further northwest, we do have a few 60s. There were a few spots that didn't even make it out of the lower 60s for a lot of spots. So as a whole, it's been feeling nice from northwest Michigan and even into southeastern parts of the state. Readings are in the 60s right now here locally. I think lower 60s for a vast majority of us here. Mid to upper 50s up near northwestern parts of the state. So I do think over the next couple of hours, even our dew point readings are going to start to come down even more. And it's going to feel really, really nice as we head through the overnight and into the day tomorrow. Sky Tracker is mainly quiet right now, which is great. Our highs today hitting between now and about, say, 6, 7 o'clock at the latest. And then those numbers start to come down as we head through late tonight and overnight. And I think a lot of us are going to bottom out lower 60s. So it's going to feel really refreshing for your Friday morning. 60 degrees to start off your day tomorrow. Decreasing cloud cover overnight. And then as I think we head through the day on Friday, we'll see a lot more sunshine. Daytime highs will be in the upper 70s. Overall, a really nice day, really nice feel. So I would highly advise making those plans outdoors, especially maybe dinner plans. And then Saturday, that's when we start to see that more summer-like feel return. Humidity levels increase. Highs will be in the low 80s with more storm chances out ahead of us. Your muggy meter over the next couple of days, it's going to be up and down. So tomorrow feels nice. Most of the day, Saturday, at least early on, feels okay. And then we start to see those numbers spike Saturday afternoon with those rain chances returning. They drop off Sunday. Monday increasing a little bit, but it's really not until midweek where we start to feel that heat, humidity, and also storm chances return as well. So a little bit unsettled as we head through next week. Here's our Fox Futurecast model, just in terms of our rain chances as we head through this upcoming weekend. There might be a few stray showers to start early on, especially north and northeast of the city, closer to, say, northern Macomb and northern Oakland County, and then it becomes a little bit more widespread through the afternoon. Scattered shower and thunderstorm chances take us through about dinner time, and then they start to become a bit more sparse late Saturday into early Sunday morning. And Sunday as a whole, I think, should be mainly dry with that early morning shower chance possible. Now, moving into next week, we see more heat, more humidity build, and you can see that warmer air down into portions of Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, so the Gulf states. That's eventually going to move northward, and we do see more heat for parts of Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, even southern Indiana, southern Illinois, and we could be on the outer ridge of that. So that's going to mean storms, that's going to mean heat, humidity. So we're going to see more of a summer-like pattern and well above seasonal pattern for us here as we head through the middle part of next week. And you can see that our temperatures are going to increase as early as Tuesday, high of about 86. We're near 90 during the day on Wednesday. Storm chances look to be around 2, very scattered in nature, so not all day rains, and especially during the afternoon hours where we see that peak daytime heating and the humidity increasing as well. So I would take advantage of today, but also tomorrow too, because it's going to feel fantastic. It's always nice to get these breaks here and there. They might not be long breaks, but it's nice to just have a little break from the 80s and the 90s.
Thank you, Steph. Yep. Well, Detroit culture runs deep. The event happening soon that promotes legacy and authenticity. All over likes. That's coming up. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Fox 2 Detroit's Live. I'm your host, Bree Teamer. Now, I want to tell you about an event that brings Detroit together to celebrate the creativity living throughout the city. It's called Behind the Brand, Legacy Over Likes, and the organizer of the event, Brandy, she joins us live now to tell us more about it. Brandy, welcome to Fox 2 Detroit Live.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So tell us a little bit about yourself before we get into it.
So I've been a creative for about 10 plus years. I've hosted shows. I've been a poet. I've done a little bit of songwriting. I've modeled. I've done photography. I've styled. I've created, directed. I've
Literally
produced,
everything.
Literally everything under the sun. Anything that somebody gives me an opportunity from, I'm going to do it.
And I really feel like your whole look right now really fits that vibe. Like you're really stepping into the creativity. You got the whole like tie and white tie or black tie, white shirt situation. The hair is looking good. I'm loving it. I'm loving everything about it. So you created something called Behind the Brand, and the one that's coming up, it's called Legacy Over Likes. We're focusing on that.
Yes.
But before that, you've done quite a few of these. So tell us about the idea behind the brand.
So I honestly created Behind the Brand. Honestly, I created it out of grief.
Oh, wow.
I created this out of just feeling like the underdog. I created it out of just feeling like we, as creatives, if we don't have 10,000 followers on Instagram, or if we don't have a big following, or if we don't have a certain brand, huge brand backing us, like we don't really have that, like that backing, that community, that leadership. So I kind of just wanted to create an idea out of dust, like just make magic out of dust. And I created this to get other creatives to pretty much have a panel and give back to the community. Like, how can I get to where you are? How can I make my impact in the city? And it kind of just blew up. I didn't really, I want to say I kind of created the idea, like I said, out of dust, and it sold out. And I was really, really very, very surprised.
Well, it seems like some of the greatest things come out of the dust.
Very true. Very true.
How have you seen this impact creatives in the community? I mean, I'm sure you've had people come up to you and express to you this impact it's had on them.
It's kind of been overwhelming. I didn't really expect it to be as big as it got. Like I said, I really expected 17 people to be there, and I had over 75.
Wow.
So I had a lot
How
of people.
did it grow so big?
Word of mouth. The people that I had on the panel, I had a producer out of town called Traumatone. I had a videographer, 715. So just having that backing and just that word of mouth. And a lot of people have known me for 10 plus years, and they know whether I'm hosting an event or producing it from behind the scenes, they know that I'm producing something with intention. So
I love that.
People just have word of mouth, and they're like, oh, Brandy's having an event, let's go to it. And then when they come, they see that I'm giving something back. I'm giving you advice. I'm giving you love. I'm giving you intention. So a lot of people came up to me and was like, you got to do it again. I was like, I only wanted to do this once.
Well, now you're doing it again. And this time it's Legacy Over Likes, and you're partnering with the Pistons to make this happen, which is a huge accomplishment. Tell us what this experience will be like.
Amazing. So I'm going to have a panel, but now I switched it up a little bit different. So it's going to be a mixer with live performances. I'm going to have vendors. There's going to actually be food. Going to feed everybody. So it's going to be the same. Just like the first panel, I'm giving back. I'm giving advice. I'm giving you step by step. And there's going to be people there that's giving you word. They're giving you intention. They're giving you leadership. They're giving you, outreach.
And you really have so much support, honestly. You have support of the community, but you also have support of really big brands like Jack Daniels, the Pistons, Des Del Mar, which is a clothing brand downtown. I mean, how does it feel to know that something that came out of the dust, as you said, grew into this in such a short amount of time?
It's amazing. Even though this event has grew up to be so impactful and so big, I still feel like a little person. Like, I still feel like the little girl that was doing this 10 years ago, where it was like, I was going to the Baltimore Gallery, I was going to MoCAD, I was going to the DIA, and I was always like inspired, like I want to do something like this for little people like me that don't really have the opportunity to get their shine or get their foot out in the door. And I'm overwhelmed. I'm really, really grateful. I worked hard for it.
So you're having a little film installation at this one that's happening on August 7th. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I have a local photographer doing a film installation. So he'll be taking pictures. I'll have props built by a local carpenter named Treese Clark. So she's going to build an actual basketball prop that says the Detroit Pistons, courtside sessions, and there'll just be pictures all over the place, film. So I just want to capture it and just make it impactful.
So tell us one more time all of the details we need to know, where it's going to be at, what time, the date, all the things.
So August 7th, it's going to be at the Detroit Pistons practice facility downtown, 6 to 9. I hope everybody shows.
And how do we register?
So there will be an RSVP link on my Instagram. You can follow my Instagram, my business page, public.riot. You can follow my personal page, Elixir Hipster. And it'll be plastered everywhere, pretty much.
I love this. Brandy, this is so great. And thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, trending today, the Obamas setting the record straight about rumors of divorce. The former first couple says those rumors are just that. They're rumors. They spoke about it on a podcast.
There hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting my man. And we've had some really hard times, but we have had a lot of fun times, a lot of adventures, and I have become a better person because of the man I'm married to.
Okay, don't make me cry now. Right at the beginning of the show. Don't let me start.
Now, in that episode, Mrs. Obama went on to say she believes the rumor started after she began making her own schedule, like choosing to skip President Donald Trump's inauguration and the funeral of former President Jimmy Carter. But they are very much still together. Well, the ESPY Awards were last night, and comedian Shane Gillis is making headlines for his opening monologue. He touched on everything from President Donald Trump to Bill Belichick and his girlfriend to Caitlin Clark and the Epstein files and so much more. Take a listen.
Only real teams are up for best team. Like Ohio State football, who won the national championship but also lost to Michigan. Michigan, who didn't cheat this time. Beat them fair and square. Yeah, are we ever going to hold accountable? Yeah, whatever. They're allowed to cheat. No repercussions. Also, UConn women, they could also win best team. UConn women, they played against pros, right, who were on the verge of a Super Bowl dynasty? No, never mind. That was the Eagles. Go Birds. Or the Florida
Gillis's
Panthers, who won
performance
back-to-back.
drew quite a bit of laughs and also some boos. Some people weren't feeling it. I thought he did a great job, honestly.
I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I know that.
A couple off-color jokes.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know ESPN officials were back there like biting their teeth, like, why did we let this guy do it? Because he got it. All right, well, this moment is having a lot of people on social media talking. It's at a Coldplay concert, and something just doesn't quite sit right with it. Watch.
Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Now, you heard lead singer Chris Martin say either they're having an affair or they're just very shy. This video is taking social media by storm. A lot of people says it looks like Troubles in Paradise. What do you guys think? Now, I did a little digging on this and I found out that that guy is a CEO of some company and that lady right there is the HR of some company, allegedly. So apparently they were having some sort of alleged affair here. Hey. That's just what the report is saying.
Come on, man. You know that guy was up to no good.
I mean, especially because he like ducked. He like went underneath the little railing there and she like went like this immediately and turned her head. Looks sketchy. Even if it wasn't sketchy, even if they were married, you made that look really bad. Like extremely.
Looked like he was having a cheek test.
Mm-hmm. And the fact that he was hugged up on her like that too. Like, are you serious? If it was an affair, are you serious? Out in the open like that, all hugged up and stuff. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. All right, I'm going to end it there today. But let us know what you think about that. Hashtag Fox 2 Detroit Live on X. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about it. Rob Wolchak is going to take you all the way until 5 o'clock today. I might see you a little bit after that on News Cam as I bring you into our 5 o'clock hour. But make sure you stick around because we got a good show for you in the 4 o'clock hour. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us on this Thursday, July 17th. I'm your host, Rob Wolchak, and you're watching Fox 2 Detroit live at 4.
Live from the Fox 2 Newsroom, this is Fox 2 Detroit.
We have breaking news in Oakland County. Orion Road in Oakland Township is closed after flooding washed a large chunk of the street away near Dutton Road. Last night's storms caused the nearby Paint Creek to crest and flood onto Orion Road. Crews are currently working on the site, working to stabilize the road so utility repairs can begin. The road will remain closed indefinitely. Authorities urging the public to avoid that area and exercise caution. More breaking news. A barricaded standoff is underway with police on the west side of Detroit. These are live pictures from the scene. Police got a call saying a man was chasing children around with a knife near Fenkel and Greenfield. Mental health experts talked to the man and got him to surrender a couple of the knives, but police say he refused to get off the porch. They tried using tear gas on him, but that didn't work. He's still barricaded inside the house right now. Police are still on the scene and trying to bring this all to a peaceful end. A Detroit teen accused of hitting and killing her father, the father of two, I should say, during a police chase in Macomb County is now charged as an adult. 16-year-old Daniel Canales was arraigned this morning on several charges, including second-degree murder and fleeing police, among other offenses. That crash happened in early on Saturday morning. Police say Canales led officers on a chase in a stolen car, then ran a red light near 11 Mile and Van Dyke and Warren, hitting and killing 28-year-old Alex Habib, who was out driving for Uber. Habib was a father of 2 who leaves behind a 3-month-old and a 1-year-old. Canales, who does not have a criminal record, was remanded to the Macomb County Juvenile Justice Center. He's due back in court later this month. A former Detroit pastor is headed to prison for sexually assaulting a 17-year-old boy. Reverend Kenneth Flowers was sentenced today to 4 to 15 years in prison. He pleaded no contest to sexually assaulting the teen in Farmington Hills back in December of 2023. Flowers had been a pastor at Greater New Mount Moriah Baptist Church in Detroit for over 30 years. Fox 2 first told you about 2 teenagers sleeping outside in the freezing cold back in December. Now another video is going around raising questions about how they're being treated. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack is working to get answers.
She's bodying him. This is the new video reigniting a story hard to forget.
Shoes, blankets, toothbrush. This is the craziest thing I've seen.
That's me on the porch of a West Side Detroit home where brothers, now 12 and 16, were living outside in frigid December temps in 2024. The story sparked community outrage after learning the kids' parents live inside. Detroit Police Major Crimes and CPS launched an in-depth investigation.
They wanted to sleep out there. That's what they told neighbors. That's what they've told anybody who tried to help them.
The DPD investigation revealed parents struggling to handle the kids' serious, out-of-control behavioral issues, the oldest with an assault complaint against a family member.
They don't want them on the porch, but they are not going to fight and chance getting into a physical altercation with a 6'5", 220-pound 15-year-old.
Sources say the oldest brother's behavior is even worse, terrorizing their parents and teachers, and now posting this video. She just kicked me.
Oh, that's another one. That's another one, Officer Harrison. That's on video. I love to see it.
We asked DPD about this video. They said in part the Detroit Police Department has thoroughly investigated the incident and found no injuries of child abuse. The mother was only detained to be transported to the precinct for questioning. All the allegations made from the children toward their parents have been unfounded. Historically, we have found that the 16-year-old has been the aggressor toward his parents and has reported the parents to be the aggressor.
Ain't that another one?
The theory is the kids are working together to get emancipated from their parents by using social media to discredit them. Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
Governor Whitmer teaming up with other officials and a nonprofit to announce medical debt relief to save more than $144 million for Michiganders. Fox News' Amy Lang is here to explain. Amy, I guess you just met with the governor.
Yes, it was the governor, it was some politicians, and it was the head of this undue medical debt organization. And you might remember that that Wayne County and Warren Evans announced something a few months ago about a medical debt relief program. And this is that same one. So this is a nonprofit. They work nationwide, and they basically work with these various healthcare providers to buy up medical debt for pennies on the dollar. And then they're able to erase medical debt for thousands and thousands of people. And so it's an incredible investment for counties to make, for the state to make. And so while some counties like Wayne and Oakland have already embarked on this, they're doing it again along with Kalamazoo County and the state. And so today the governor was accompanied by all these folks to announce another $144 million in medical debt erased, and that would benefit 210,000 Michiganders. And so it's really an incredible program. People who are, now free and clear, they're going to receive letters notifying them about this medical debt being relieved and erased, and it's really exciting.
Medical debt is, it's a terrible thing to have, and it's not like going out and buying a car and not making your car payments or something like that. Right. I mean, you get sick, you have an operation, you're elderly.
You have an accident, you have...
And it ruins your credit. Yeah. I had a situation when I was a younger man, when my son Scott was a baby, and we had a lot of debt. to medical facilities. I didn't have very good insurance at the time. I was working at a pretty lousy TV station and trying to make it. And I had some medical debt, and it haunted me for years, ruined my credit for years and years and years. And it was not even a lot of debt. I mean, it was like a couple of $100. And it haunted me and ruined my credit. And even after I paid it off, it was on there for 7 years. And hey, explain this. MedMart, what is that? I had to rent equipment for a sick baby. And so I kind of feel as though it's really unfair. I've always been somebody who pays my bills on time. But I mean, if you got something you can't handle because somebody got sick in your family, it seems as though there should be a little bit of help for people like that.
A little grace, right? And so you're absolutely right in that this is incredibly unfortunate. There is no way to know when you're going to be impacted by this or if you're going to be impacted. You don't know if you're going to have an accident. You don't know if you're going to get sick. You don't know how much your insurance is going to cover. I mean, so this is really something that it is not at all partisan. It is just a people problem, and it is a system problem. And it's a problem for the hospitals. It's a problem for the providers. It's a problem for the people. I mean, they were saying today it's the #1 cause of bankruptcy. That 100 million people, Americans, deal with this at some point, and that 700,000 Michiganders have some sort of medical debt. Sometimes it's incredibly crippling. Sometimes, as you said, it's just a few $100s. But gosh, if that can be relieved in some way, it really benefits people so much. And here's the other thing. This big, beautiful bill that was just passed cuts a lot of health insurance. A lot of people stand to lose their Medicaid. And so that is going to make this problem even worse. And not to mention that a rule under the Biden administration was going to keep medical debt off your credit report. And so you alluded to your credit being ruined at one point by medical debt. And so that was going to go away. Well, now a federal judge has allowed that to stay on credit reports. So it is not a good situation. So the more that communities, counties, states can work in a bipartisan manner to help alleviate some of this medical debt for citizens, the better.
Yeah, I think I thought that bill by Biden was a good one too, because especially if you're sick, having bill collectors call you and credit people, and if you're sick and you have something and you're trying to heal, you're trying to get better. So I kind of think that they should be separate entities. I mean, I get it. If you don't make your car payment on time, you don't make your rent payments on time. I get it that they ruin your credit. But I mean, if you have an unfortunate accident or some kind of outrageous medical bills, and that's exactly what it is. I mean, you can go in the hospital and be charged $25,000, and what am I going to do? I don't have $25,000.
Yeah. It's a real problem. It's incredibly stressful for people. I mean, so let's say you're physically ill and trying to recover, and now you're just incredibly stressed. That's not healthy for anyone. So it's great to see a program like this, and I think everyone who becomes familiar with it says, "Wow, that's something that we need to really support and get involved in if we can, just to make life a little bit easier for people."
Yeah. Thank you.
Sure thing.
Sounds like a really good thing. Thank you, Amy Blank. And we got to move on.
All right.
All right. Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan is picking up a big endorsement today in his run for governor. The Detroit Regional Chamber's Political Action Committee is throwing their support behind Duggan's campaign. It's pretty early for them to pick a candidate. The announcement from Detroit Chamber came months before the Southeast Michigan Business Organization traditionally reveals which gubernatorial candidate it is supporting. Duggan is running as an independent. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel says she's not ruling out a run for senator or governor, which already have other candidates. They've been lining up. While the Attorney General isn't ruling out a run for either, she's still keeping quiet about what her next move is.
I really think right now, there's no more important job than I can have than the one that I'm doing right now. A fair statement is that I've made no determinations about what my future is at this point.
There are currently 3 Democrats running for governor and 3 others seeking the U.S. Senate seat. Fox 2 Live at 4 is just getting started. After the break, the Motor City getting a little help when it comes to keeping the freeways maintained. I saw this yesterday. how technology is helping things for drivers. We'll be right back. This is cool. It says a pickup truck swerved to avoid a car and ran into a generator. That's a big DTE generator, it looks like. The truck is now crashed under that generator. We're trying to get information on the people involved. Fox 2 has calls into police, and we'll have more on this story as it develops. Turning now to the weather. And there she is, my favorite weather lady.
Oh, thank you, Rob.
My favorite weather lady, Stephanie Mead, is here with weather. And we were talking, and I still think it's pretty warm for swimming. You were saying that you didn't think so. I looked at it.
It's a personal preference.
It said it was supposed to be 72 today as a high. When I looked last night.
What app were you looking at?
Nah, I think I was looking at the Fox 2 weather app, but it may be 72 at my house. I don't know. But it is a little bit warmer, and
sure.
I will definitely be swimming tonight. Well, it feels pretty hot out there.
You want to know what? Luckily, you communicate with weather people every day.
I know.
So you get accurate forecasts, because sometimes even those apps, even though it's connected to Fox 2, they're not always like...
No, the Fox 2 app.
Fox 2 app is great, but sometimes the temperature might be a little off.
Is awesome, and it's just a little bit warmer than 72, which I'm happy about.
Yeah, temperatures right now are in the upper 70s. Few of us are in the 60s. It is cooler in spots. 65 in Traverse City, 68 in Lansing, 69 in Mount Pleasant, 78 degrees in Detroit right now. Now, it is a little humid for spots. We have mid-60s in the city, 50s up near Traverse City and Grand Rapids, and eventually we will see drier air make its way in as we head through the overnight, alongside cloud cover decreasing as well. Sky tracker, mainly quiet, so we're not tracking any moisture over the next 24 hours. Our daytime highs today hitting between now and we have probably about an hour or two left with actually seeing our high temperature. We should be in the upper 70s, about 79. I think we're at 78 right now, so we're a degree off. But I think before the day is done, we'll probably hit that. Lows tonight will bottom out lower 60s. So I do think we see a really nice, refreshing evening. Low humidity, no rain, decreasing cloud cover through the overnight. So it does look really, really nice. And I think tomorrow's going to be another nice day. Humidity is not going to be around. We see daytime highs in the upper 70s, lots of sunshine. So it's going to be a really nice way to wrap kind of an active work week for us here, just in terms of storms and also the warmth that we've seen. Saturday, we return to the 80s. We'll see that scattered shower and storm chance throughout the day. And our humidity levels are also going to go up as well. So very comfy for the rest of the day, or I should say the rest of the evening tonight and into tomorrow. And then you notice those numbers go up Saturday afternoon, increasing rain chances alongside with that. And then Sunday, we start to see our humidity levels come down, and they stay down for a little bit before we see our humidity levels go right back up midweek next week. And alongside with that, we're also increasing our storm chances as well. So it does remain active as we head through mid to late week next week. Our rain chances this weekend scattered to start Saturday. By Saturday evening, they should be gone. Maybe an isolated shower chance to start the day on Sunday, but we do salvage the afternoon. So we have a split weekend for right now. Sunday is going to be the better of the 2 days for sure. And then heading into next week, we do see more heat, more humidity building. The core of the warmer air is going to be south of us, but that doesn't mean we won't see our stretch of hot days here across southeast Michigan. We could potentially be talking a couple of days in the 90s. Humidity levels are going to be up there, so we could be talking heat index numbers too in the middle 90s. So we're not finished up with the summer weather quite yet. We do see rain chances on Saturday. Not a whole lot of rain to work with for at least the first couple of days next week. And then storm chances return on Wednesday alongside the heat and humidity. So it's going to get a little bit more active as we head through mid to late week next week for sure.
All right. Now, let me ask you this, Stephanie. All right. Now that I'm throwing this out. You are a scientist, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So what's with the weird bugs this year? I was talking to Fran. Okay. You know Fran, the lady that goes around and cleans our offices. And Fran was talking about how we were talking about all the weird bugs, these weird beetles and stuff. It's kind of like it's been very hot and there's a bunch of weird bugs. What do you got to say about those bugs, weather lady?
Well, I'm assuming it has to do with all the rain we've been getting. It's been super moist and it's been very, very warm. So, I mean, at least mosquitoes, have you been getting eaten quite a bit?
Yes, there's lots of mosquitoes, yes. And I was out putting up my bird cam the other day, and I got
my gosh, 2 bird cams.
Yeah,
we got the bird cam here. We got Rob's bird cam.
Are you here tomorrow?
I'm here tomorrow.
Okay, because tomorrow I'm going to debut the Walcheck bird cam.
I hope you have interesting birds.
I have very interesting birds, but that's tomorrow.
But
yes.
Can you see deer from your bird cam too?
I have deer in the back. The deer are not by the bird cam. They kind of go in the back of the house. This is on the side of the house.
Okay.
But I will show you. I have some lovely birds.
I'm excited for this bird cam. But to answer your question, we do. It's just very wet outside. So bugs love wet things, and rain, puddles,
and I got
all that
eaten
stuff.
up putting that bird cam up, and it was like
it's
5 o'clock at night, but it was shady there, and I have woods all around me. But I've also been noticing a lot of these beetles, like weird flying beetles that fly into my hair, and
that
I
sounds
take
awful.
my little doggy for a walk, and I'm out there, acting like people think I'm some kind of nut. Well, I kind of am a nut.
Are you seeing these beetles? Is anybody else seeing these beetles?
No, they're real because you open the screen to let the dog out at night and there's like 1,000 beetles on the back screen and you kind of hit the screen and,
I have woods kind of backing up against my area too. I get a lot of dragonflies.
Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like there's an awful lot of insects out there right now.
Yeah. Fish flies.
Yeah,
fish flies. Howard's got the fish flies.
Yeah, so I just think it's just been very warm, and we've received a lot of rain. There's probably a lot of standing water out there, too, so that's probably the reason why.
All
which
right.
is gross.
Well, thank you for that. You're going to be back in a half hour?
Yeah, I will be. I'll see you then.
All right, thank you. Hey, something new popping up along Detroit's freeways. These are cool. I saw them yesterday when we were driving to the courthouse. Remote-controlled lawnmowers. The city has started using the mowers to cut grass along those sloped freeway embankments. We got to look at them along I-75 today. City officials say the remote mowers are much safer than previous methods on those steep sides there when the workers have to physically ride or push mowers along a hill. Plus, they're high tech, which opens up the job up to a whole new workforce. These are like little drone mowers. Actually, they're pretty big and they're pretty cool. I saw them with my cameraman. We were going to court yesterday. You seen them yet, Howard?
Oh, yeah, I saw them yesterday.
Yeah, they're awesome. And, you know, those real steep embankments. And I have a riding mower, and I have a few steep embankments around my property. And take my word for it, man, it's hairy. You could topple your lawnmower. Let's play that soundbite now.
The operators are more of technical, your techie, your IT type of operator. So your young adults, your people who maybe like to spend a lot of time on video games, you know, that's a big thing now, the esports. So just think about that when we're talking about, you know, the safety aspect, but we're also talking about another generation of Detroiters.
About 80 to 85% of the freeways in Detroit have sloped grass, so the remote control mowers should actually come in handy. The grass is cut a minimum of 5 times a year. Like I said, pretty cool. The Tigers getting ready for a 3-game series against Texas this weekend. Plus, the Lions are going back to camp. Dan Miller's in next with that and more in Fox 2 Sports. It's going to be a busy weekend for the Detroit Tigers as they take on Texas in a 3-game stretch. Dan Miller joins us with that and more of what's happening in sports. So you pointed out, I said they they had a 4-game losing streak going into the All-Star game, and you pointed out they still have a 4-game losing streak.
It has not changed with the All-Star break. They will begin the next half of the season with a 4-game losing streak as well. But look, if you're going to have a 4-game losing streak, do it with an 11.5 game lead in your division. I mean, you have plenty of room there for error. But look, we obviously have some things that we're watching here. Can Flaherty find some consistency here in the second half? Mize, is he going to be the type of pitcher that we saw at his best in the first half? I mean, there's certain things you're still watching with this team. And obviously with the trade deadline coming up as well, we're tuned into whether or not they're going to make a significant move maybe to help that bullpen. which has struggled towards the end of the first half. So, look, as good as they are, there are still questions because you're not talking about just winning the American League Central. You're not looking at this thing and saying, are they equipped to win a World Series? And you don't get to this position very often, so you want to take full advantage of it.
Yeah, well, they're doing really good. I mean, I think it's been a bit of surprise. We expected them to be really good, but they've been leading the division. They've been leading the league in wins pretty much the whole season, haven't they?
You know, it's interesting. You say we expected them to be good. They went on such a tear at the end of last year. I think there was an element of unknown surrounding this team coming into this season. Were they going to be the team that went on that tear at the end of last year and got into the playoffs, won a series? Or were they going to be the team that resembled more like the first half and didn't play that well? So, look, we didn't anticipate that Javi Baez was going to be an all-star and play like this. Torkelson has come back and been terrific. Gleyber Torres has been outstanding as somebody that they signed and certainly thought would be a solid player, but maybe not an all-star starter. So there have been things that have gone their way, but now I think it's about fine-tuning. And like I said, I think we're watching Scott Harris to see what he does here in the second half of the season. What can he add to this team? And I think that bullpen looked vulnerable towards the end of the first half. I think now a lot of people are looking at that and saying, a swing and miss guy is a setup guy, would certainly bode well for this team.
Yeah, let's hope they go to the World Series. And win. That's what we need. That's what we need. 41 years we were talking about.
Yeah. No, look, they're good. Question is, can you be great?
Yep.
And this is the time of year where teams have to decide how far in are they willing to go? How far in are they willing to go? How much are they willing to dip into a farm system and make a trade for a player? Is it just a rental type guy? Is it somebody that's got a contract that maybe another team's trying to get rid of? These are all the conversations that they're having right now because the teams that are in contention are looking to get better. And we know some of the big market teams with big dollars will do that. Question is, where will the Tigers end up in that whole situation? And what's it going to be? Is it a hitter? Is it an everyday third baseman? Is it the type of guy that's going to be, as we said, a bullpen? Do they have some concerns about their starting rotation that they say, you know what, we want to add a guy that's maybe a 4 or a 5 there. So there's all sorts of possibilities for them. But listen, the good thing is, and you pointed it out, they've played so well to get to this point that these conversations become heightened because of the opportunity that you have.
Yeah, let's take advantage of it. Hey, let's talk about the British Open.
Round 1, Open Championship today. It's really the final chance for these guys to win a major this year. Look, I mean, this is what you can get at the Open Championship. Bryson DeChambeau just whiffs there. Ends up taking a double bogey on the hole. There's his next attempt at it. Just barely got it out.
That looks like me playing golf.
Well, it trickles down into at least grass where he can hit. He was +7 today. Going to take a miracle for him to be involved on Sunday. Going to take a miracle probably for him to be around for the weekend. Scotty Scheffler, he's right where you expect him to be. He's playing terrific golf. And then the leader right now, or one of the guys that's right up there, playing some terrific golf as well. Look, it's Fitzpatrick is a guy. This would obviously be huge for him as a guy from over there. That leaderboard that you see right there is stacked with guys that won't be there on Sunday. And I think you will see the familiar names that rise up. Rory McIlroy got it back to 1 under by the end of the day. He's going to be a factor in this thing. And I don't anticipate Scotty Scheffler is going to go anywhere. Wouldn't surprise me if we saw those two really duking it out on Sunday.
And back at home, let's talk about our other championship team that's going to win a championship. The
You're
Super Bowl.
stacking them up.
I'm stacking them
we
up, man.
We got parades lined up coming out of our plaza.
I haven't talked to you for a long time, Dan. I gotta get you working here, man. What about the Lions? The camp starts on Sunday.
Camp starts on Sunday. They've already got some players that are in at the Meyer Performance Center that you see right there as they get ready to start training camp. And here's what we can say: they're good. But there are questions that need to be answered with this team as well. In particular, on the interior of that offensive line where Frank Ragnow retired, you're now going to have some young guys that are moving into that spot. And they have to decide, what are you going to do with Graham Glasgow? Is he your center? Is he a guard? Are you going to play 2 young guards? Are you going to play one of the young guys at center? There's questions that have to be answered. Taylor Decker's an interesting situation. He was placed on PUP, physically unable to perform today. That's just a procedural move as they move into camp. But the question is, what's the injury that he's dealing with? How significant is it? Aleem McNeil was also placed on that. We know he's not coming back till midseason. So, look, it's a long road between here and the start of the year, but they're starting it with high hopes. They are a two-time defending champ in their division, but they're not thinking about the division. That's job one. But let's face it, we've all gotten to the point now where for this team, the ultimate prize is what you talked about. It's a Super Bowl. And it's not getting ahead of yourselves to talk about that. It's getting ahead of yourselves to think about it if you're a player. But they've set the standard so high with what they've done over the past couple of years that for guys like us who can sit here and don't have to go to practice and worry about the next rep, we can say for a team like this, Super Bowl or bust sounds so kind of nasty sometimes. But it is about going out there and maximizing an opportunity and winning a Super Bowl.
Yep, that's what we're looking for. I think we're going to do it. I say Tigers win the World Series.
Can you imagine that? And the Lions?
And Lions win the Super Bowl. Man, this town would go crazy.
Be a lot
and
of
we
hangovers.
deserve it. Come on, we've had some. We're a championship city, and we haven't had a championship here. When was the last championship?
Wings.
The
Beating
Wings.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah. What was that, 09?
And Pistons in 04 before that.
Pistons in 04, yeah.
So,
yeah,
I think
we deserve
certainly-
it. So let's hope that we get those.
You got it.
All right. Thank you, Dan.
All right, man.
The fight for the Jeffrey Epstein files growing louder on both sides of the aisle. Coming up, we're hearing more on what the late financier's brother is saying about it all. That and much more ahead on Fox 2 Detroit Live. Skyfox over the scene of a bad crash in Allen Park. As many as 3 cars may be involved in this crash on Pelham between Wick and Goddard. A witness says a pickup truck swerved to avoid a car and ran into a DTE Energy generator truck. The pickup is now crushed under that generator. We also saw 2 cars towed away from the scene. We're trying to get more information on the people involved, but we hear 1 person has died. Fox 2's Lauren Edwards will have a live update tonight at 5. After an early morning vote, the Senate passed a bill that would cut about $9 billion in already allocated federal funding. The so-called rescissions bill is now in the House. The measure claws back funding for public broadcasting and foreign aid. Republicans say it trims wasteful spending. Democrats argue it harms vital services and bipartisanship in funding national priorities. There's growing demand from public and lawmakers regarding those Jeffrey Epstein files. This as the president urges people to move on. And now we're getting some very interesting perspective on the whole thing. I want to hear about this. Joining us now with more and what's coming up on the Pulse tonight is Taryn Asher. Now, Taryn, you spoke with Jeffrey Epstein's brother. One, I didn't even know he had a brother.
Yep.
Two, if I was Jeffrey Epstein's brother, I think I would keep that a secret.
Well, that's funny you say that because I did reach out to him. I said, I'm going to take a chance because this is really interesting. We're always talking about it, feels like, these Epstein files. So I found his information. It wasn't hard online and reached out to him. And he is in Europe. That's where he told me he is, Europe. So that's a very large place, Rob. So don't worry, they gave me an exact location. And he also did not show his face, but he did do a Zoom interview with us. And we're going to air that tonight on the Pulse. But I'll tell you what, it was very interesting. He believes that there was a cover-up, that he was murdered. His brother was murdered, not died by suicide, and that he points to some specific things, and he really wants an investigation. I did ask him about those files, though, and he said, yeah, I think it all should be released. We need to see it because perhaps, something in there may lead to what may be a cover-up, what he's alleging, when it comes to how he died, his brother died. I did have to ask him, though, his brother did some pretty horrible things to a lot of young girls. And I'll tell you what, just to tease ahead a little bit, he said, I always talked to my brother about that, and he said it was stupid, that he really liked young girls. So that was from him, and he goes on about that a little bit. So Mark Epstein did speak with us for about 15 minutes. We're going to air that as much as we can, as the time allows on the Pulse. And he's a character, certainly, but he did reveal some things about his thoughts about what happened and why he thinks there's a cover-up and what he'd like to see moving forward.
Well, that's some good reporting right there. If you got the interview with Epstein's brother, I got to watch that now. That's the Pulse tonight.
Well, you watch it all the time. So
yeah, I do.
Pulse,
I do watch the Pulse all the time. I watch it all the time, especially when you're hosting. You know.
Right.
Anyways, all right. Let's move on to another subject here.
Yeah.
You're also talking about this push to regulate kratom.
Kratom.
Okay, so I have to admit I didn't even know what kratom was until you explained it to me. It's some kind of gas station heroin or something?
Well, that's what they're calling it because you can get it over the counter, and that's the problem. And actually, Jessica Dubnak broke the story on Fox 2 about a month ago, and you can see some of it there. It's similar in the fact that, remember back in, 2012, the synthetic drugs, we heard about K2 and bath salts, all around that. It's synthetic, so it's more potent. And the problem is that was banned back then, and we helped lead to the state ban of that, making that illegal. But now you have something like kratom, which is semi-synthetic, and that's more potent, and it can lead to something as addictive as opioids. It can cause respiratory issues and, addiction. And there's just a lot of problems with it. And, a lot of these communities see them right there at the gas stations or these smoke shops that's being sold. I said, wait, anybody can get their hands on this stuff, and that's not good. And we need some regulation. We need some oversight. So one more thing to put on the state's list of things to do. But we're going to have a Clinton Township trustee on today. They met and they're continuing to pursue this. But remember, this is something that it could cause some problems with young people, and we need to stay ahead of it. And that's what they're doing. So Jessica's going to join us too because she was the first one to do the story in our area, and it's important.
I gotta tell you, I've never bought any
gas station heroin?
Drugs. I've never bought anything at a gas station like that. I
just stick with your Vernors or whatever.
My what?
Vernors.
Vernors. Yes, I go in there and I get a Rockstar or a Monster or something like that, and.
I know. And
I see all that stuff back there. I don't know what it is. I don't really have any interest in it, but certainly not something you would want any kids or anybody to experiment with. Who knows what's in those things?
That's the problem. No one knows.
Yeah.
And you could just put it, and then it becomes fully synthetic, and you have a whole issue on your hands. But it's in its certain form, it is legal. So now how do you regulate this? So you have to bring the state in to test it and to regulate it. And that takes a lot of time, a lot of money, but it needs to be done because if you have young people here at risk and they're able to just walk up to the counter and buy it, that's a huge problem.
Yeah. All right. The Pulse tonight, 11:30 with Taryn Asher and the Epstein brother interview. I gotta hear this now.
I gotta tell you what, the one thing he said was funny. He's like, everybody thinks I'm the older brother, but no. He had to point out that he was a younger brother, 18 months younger. I said, okay, well, I'll make sure to tell everybody.
Okay, why that would matter? I said,
know,
if I was
funny.
Epstein's brother, I would not want to. I would be like, yeah, my name's Epstein, but that's a very common name. So I don't know.
I know.
Anyways, tonight, 11:30, the Epstein interview and Kratom. Thank you, Taryn.
You're welcome.
A bill to modernize weather research programs is currently before Congress, and it's taken on a special significance after recent deadly weather events. Fox's Jared Halpern has that story.
With the recent deadly flooding in Texas and the current hurricane season top of mind, lawmakers heard from industry experts about how to employ new weather technologies to protect lives and property.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's possible to totally prevent tragedies like this, but we can certainly learn from them and improve all aspects of warning and distribution, including more precise forecasts.
The Weather Act reauthorization is a bipartisan bill. It focuses on expanding the government's ability to contract with private industry.
Fostering collaboration between NOAA, academic institutions, and the private sector enables the federal government to procure the most cost-effective information, resulting in services that maximize impact.
Commercial innovation has lowered the barriers to entry in both weather and space.
Even AI, a common hot-button issue, is being embraced by forecasters.
The same AI revolution that transformed how we understand language and brought us ChatGPT is now transforming weather modeling.
But experts continue to caution manpower is still necessary.
But at the end of the day, it takes basic physics and understanding of the physics. It takes people trained in those capabilities.
Some of the testimony leading Democratic lawmakers to take aim at President Trump's recent cuts to NOAA.
We're flying blind into the eye of the storm. Quite literally. The United States cannot lead in weather prediction, cannot harness innovation, and cannot protect lives and property without people.
President Trump's proposed budget recommends an increase of nearly 7% in funding to the National Weather Service. In Washington, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
All right, and we're going straight to the weather because we want to find out what that weather is like. Stephanie.
For sure, yeah.
It feels a little warmer today than I expected, but I guess it is much cooler, actually.
Yes, it is. It's not bad. I didn't know where to go from there because I was trying to process that whole thing. I was like, what?
Where you didn't know where I was going.
I didn't know where you were going, and it's in the 70s. It feels nice, I think, for a lot of locations. At least it's better than the heat and humidity. I know you like the heat.
I was out messing. To be honest, I was out messing with my tire pressure, so maybe that's why it felt hot.
Are we all having car problems?
No, I'm not having car problems.
Oh.
I'm having tire pressure problems. You know the little gauge on your car that says...
Do you have like a false sensor?
Yeah, I got the sensors and they're going off. I got brand new tires. I got $2,000 worth of brand new tires. And then all of a sudden, I got one
Is that the hint that he drives a fancy, smancy car?
No, it's a hint that I have expensive tires on my car. But anyways, so I was out there in the parking lot a little bit earlier with a hand pump pumping the tires. So maybe that's why it felt really hot, because I'm also wearing a shirt and tie.
That'll do it. It's in the upper 70s, though. It's feeling a little bit better in northern Michigan. Up near the UP, they're in the mid 60s. Upper 70s here in Detroit, and then low 80s in Fort Wayne. Now, as of right now, Sky Tracker is not showing anything, which is great. So I think we're dry through the rest of the day today. Just a lot of cloud cover, and then tonight we'll see it clear out. 79 degrees is our forecasted high. We came close to that today. Our numbers start to come down tonight. We'll be in the low 60s. It's going to feel refreshing. Humidity levels remain low, and actually over the next 24 hours, it's going to remain low. We'll be in the upper 70s tomorrow, so almost a very similar feel, if not maybe a little bit better. And we'll see a lot of sunshine during the day on Friday. Saturday's when we start to see more rocky weather return. We could see storm chances pretty much any time during the day. Now, it's not going to be a washout event for us here, but they will be around through the afternoon. So something to keep in mind if you want to make those outdoor plans. 83 degrees. So the humidity returns alongside those warmer temperatures as well. Now, in terms of our feel like temperatures and in terms of how it feels outside, through the end of the week, which is basically only tomorrow, we'll feel low humidity levels. And then we start to see those dew point readings go right back up Saturday. They come down on Sunday and they remain low for at least Tuesday. And then we'll start to see those humidity levels go right back up during the middle part of the week, so Wednesday and beyond, is when it starts to become a bit more sticky and uncomfortable. So we do have some nicer feeling days out ahead of us. We just have a sticky day in between each one. So rain chances return Saturday. It's also going to feel uncomfortable, so something to keep in mind. And then by Wednesday and Thursday, that's our next opportunity for showers. So here's our weekend rain chance. We do see rain to start the day too. It's not going to be widespread, and that's going to continue through the afternoon, through the evening hours too, and then early Sunday, maybe a stray shower, but we salvage the day. So Sunday is going to be the better of the two weekend days. And then after that, we see more warmth return. We could be talking 90s, a couple of days in the lower 90s. Now, we're not talking triple digits. I think a good bulk of that warmth and that heat is going to be in central parts of the country. So it's just a little further southwest of us, but we're going to be on the ridge of that area of high pressure. So storm chances right along the ridge. There is that storm risk as we head through midweek next week, so something to keep in mind too. So we're not completely finished up with this heat. We shouldn't be. I mean, it's only July, so this isn't too out of the ordinary. We see 80s to start next week. We're dry Monday, Tuesday, and then storm chances return on Wednesday.
In general, I would say July is always hot.
It is, yes.
And then it does cool down significantly in August. It's still very nice, but July is our hottest month for sure.
And you know what? I feel like we need to enjoy the days like this. I feel like we're so quick to just wish for the next season to come. And then before you know it, we're in winter. And then we're all complaining about how cold it is. So let's just enjoy the warmth, you know?
I like it when it's hot. You know me, I like it hot. I complain when the wintertime, I was complaining, when's it getting warm? When's it getting warm? So I'm not going to complain about it. It's just warm today. It feels warm today.
And I'm not saying you're complaining. I'm saying about all the people that are out there wanting the fall weather, trying to push us along.
Them.
Exactly. Let's not do that quite yet.
My wife's a big fall fan too. She always wants the fall so she can go take her walks and do all that kind of stuff. But I'm like, fall means winter's coming.
Yeah, and fall lasts like 2 seconds here.
Yeah.
So it's hot and then it goes to winter. So I'm just like, let's just enjoy the warmth, you know?
All right. Well, you go out and enjoy and go take your doggy for a walk.
I will.
And watch out for those bugs.
I will. I will see you tomorrow.
Notice those bugs.
I will. I've gotten bitten by a bug on my finger. It's not a skater bite. It's some type of bug. So they are out.
I could show you my arm. I'm so eaten up, man. It's awful. But
it's bad.
Yeah. Anyways,
I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Stephanie. Bye. The Ann Arbor Art Fair kicks off today and it goes through Saturday. The work of nearly 1,000 artists will be featured at the event, spanning 30 city blocks of downtown Ann Arbor. There will be music, art demonstrations, and other family-friendly activities. The transportation company National Trails will provide shuttle service from Briarwood Mall and Huron High School for $8 per person. And beyond this weekend, you can spend your Tuesday nights this summer enjoying live music and good company. We're talking about the Brightmoor Music Series, which started this week and runs every Tuesday through September 2nd. It's a free, family-friendly festival with live music, food, trucks, and even some merchandise vendors. This will be made possible by a local family who created both the park and the festival in honor of a loved one.
When we first acquired the property, this was replete with abandoned homes, burnout vehicles, all kinds of nefarious things, crime. And we came in, we purchased a number of lots. We worked with the building authority to have some of the homes raised to the ground. And we created this park, which we named after our mother, Ethel May Williams. So what you see here today is as a result of a family who was interested in helping to clean up a neighborhood and create something or converting it into something that is fun, that is family friendly, and that will always be free to patrons.
Oh, that's super cool. This is the 5th year for the festival. It's located in the Brightmoor area on the corner of Burgess and Acacia. You can find more information at williamspark.org. The Obamas publicly addressing divorce rumors once and for all, what they're saying about their life before and after the White House. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. The Country Roads Music Festival was supposed to be a music lover's dream with 3 days of live tunes and a focus on Michigan talent. It was set to kick off this weekend, but was suddenly postponed. Fox 2's Ingrid Kelly explains.
Country pop singer-songwriter Michaela Prue loves to sing.
Turning 20 soon, I don't know what to do. I swear I've been singing out of the womb. Ever since I was 4 years old, I've been in musicals.
And over the years, Michaela has also performed in a number of festivals. So when she was invited to perform at the first ever Country Roads Music Festival in Brooklyn, she was over the moon.
I was super excited to be a part of the opportunity in this brand new festival.
But days before Michaela was set to take the stage on Sunday, July 20th, the event organizer posted this announcement on Facebook, postponing the event.
Festivals are obviously a major way that growing artists like me get their name out there, and it is also one of the main ways where myself and my band, we generate income.
She wasn't alone in her disappointment. Scott Kendall's band was set to perform Saturday.
I was a little let down. I was really looking forward to it.
The founder of Country Roads Fest is speaking out on the postponement.
After we got everything done and got tickets on sale, we probably only had April, May, June, really only about 3.5 months. And I think in hindsight, Monday morning quarterbacking here, it probably wasn't sufficient time to be able to promote the festival.
This was Darcy Key's first major fest, and she believes a lack of promotion led to low ticket sales.
I don't think that we ever got to kind of that critical minimum ticket sales level.
Keys felt competition from other events played a role in low ticket sales, but she vows to be back next year.
Our intention is definitely to do it next year.
And we caught up with one producer who does a lot of events across Metro Detroit, including Arts, Beats, and Eats. And he has this advice for Country Roads.
Definitely think there's a road back. Finding some sponsorship, getting finance not just from the people that are buying tickets, but having some support there can also give you some initial funding to go after an act that is going to catch people's attention.
Ticket holders will get a full refund, and Keys apologizes for the letdown.
Nobody wanted to have this more than I did. I'm heartbroken.
In Southfield, Ingrid Kelly, Fox 2 News.
The Obamas setting the record straight about rumors of divorce. The former first couple says those rumors are just that, rumors. They spoke about it on a podcast with her brother, Craig Robinson.
There hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting my man. And we've had some really hard times, but we have had a lot of fun times, a lot of adventures, and I have become a better person because of the man I'm married to.
Okay, don't make me cry now. Right at the beginning of the show.
In that episode, Mrs. Obama went on to say she believes the rumors started after she began making her own schedule, choosing to skip the President Donald Trump's inauguration and the funeral of former President Jimmy Carter. And that's all for Fox 2 Detroit Live at 4. Remember, you can connect using the hashtag Fox 2 Detroit Live on Instagram and X. Tune in Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. and on our website, fox2detroit.com, or our streaming app, Fox Local, on your smart TV. You can also check us out on your smartphone. Fox 2 News at 5 is next. Have a great day. Oh.
Hit Bob.